everyone. Tyler in the house, bright and early. Love to see it. The Wolfman himself. Sandman himself, apparently. But unfortunately today, folks, I don't feel super well. I ate an entire bag of Reese's like peanut butter dipped animal crackers or something. They were a mess. But we were at the movies last night, and I'd never seen them before, so I went ahead and bought one, and man, they were very good. I ate the whole bag, but I've not eaten that much like junk in a long time, and I don't know, just feel off. Stomach's also having some problems, so we'll see how long we can really keep it up today, because it is another Levia Blitz stream, and I have been enjoying Levia Blitz, not gonna lie. Levia Blitz is pretty fun. And this one is really interesting. Today's deck is a skirmish winning list. Vasily, if you remember, the Greek player who took Levia to top 4 at Nats last year, who has been repping her at most of the European tournaments. He's kind of there's a bunch of like Levia players out in EU, but I think he's still tied for like highest finish out there. There was someone else who got top 4 at I think it was Nationals in Switzerland, and Vasily also got top 4 Nats in Greece. So as far as like the EU Levia players go, Vasily is definitely up there. And he recently posted on the League of Levia that he won a skirmish with a really unique list. And I wish I was more entrenched in this skirmish season, but I've only been able to go to 1, and I bubbled at 9th. So I can't really add my own results to the mix this season. I don't think I can go to any this weekend either, because I've got my cousin's birthday on Sunday, and then Sandra and I want to do a day out and about on Saturday before I leave for almost 5 weeks back to back. So out of 3 weekends of skirmish, I only got to go to 1, which sucks. If this was back in Michigan, I probably would have gone to like 8. But they're just a little bit too far for me out here in upstate New York. They're about like within 1 hour driving distance or so, but there's other factors like, we only have one car. So if I leave with the car, then Sandra's like kind of stuck all day. Or, like the fact that my my grandparents are down in like one corner, and the skirmish on the same day is like in the other corner. So like I can't make that trip very easy. Oh, it's just like small complications this skirmish season, unfortunately. So I might go to 1 this weekend, maybe one, but it's likely going to be draft, not blitz, because it would be Saturdays more likely than my Sunday. Oh well, we can still enjoy skirmish season by proxy, because like I said, Vasily did take down a skirmish with Levia, and someone put out stats recently of, actually I think I can find this on X or Twitter, whatever we call it now. Someone put out the total wins so far of the heroes in skirmish season. I think it was, yeah, here we go. We can take a look at this. Oops, my stream deck is not working. Let me reload this. Okay. So Dylan from TCG Talk put out a skirmish wins over the first 2 weeks. And what's interesting about this though is it doesn't split the draft skirmishes from the constructed skirmishes. So you do see like Chane, Prism, Boltyn. Actually, this is really interesting. Wow, Boltyn only at 2, and then Levia. It is counting the draft ones though, so that's actually crazy though that Boltyn didn't make it higher. But Levia skirmish wins, yeah, most of these are coming from draft. The only confirmed one that I've heard of so far in the League of Levia, and you would assume the League of Levia is kind of on top of all Levia news, is just this one from Vasily. So if I can make it to a skirmish this weekend, you bet, obviously I'd be playing Levia. Got to get this number higher, but this is really not a bad spot. Middle of the pack, kind of on the low end of the highs. I mean, nowhere close to what Kasai's doing, and obviously these Kasai wins are from constructed blitz. She's not in this draft format. And then there's also a really funny story. Some store, I think it was in Australia, had a rule on the down low that you had to play a merchant at this skirmish, but it was on the down low. It was on the down low. You know, no one quite knew. It wasn't too public. Then they show up to the skirmish, and it's like, oops, everyone's a merchant. And all of a sudden, Cavdeen then got his first living legend points. All the way up. Because the finals was, I think, a Cavdeen mirror. And it's just hilarious. The entire skirmish was merchants. So it could have only been Genus or Cavdeen as of now. But there we go. I think, does that make every hero? No, not every hero is on the board, right? I think Genus is still lacking or something. There's like one or two that still fall through the cracks. But anyway, Levia, right in the middle. Also, it's saying my internet connection is also kind of bad today. That's so odd. Yeah, the internet's actually tanking a little bit. If it's choppy, then apologies. Good day. We got more people showing up. Tyler's only done one skirmish so far. Going to one on Saturday, and then you think that's going to be it? Yeah, honestly, it's just a weird timing. I feel like I'm so distracted by not only like Nats prep, but there are a lot of other events going on. You know, like this weekend, I wouldn't mind kicking back and just watching Battle Hardened Hong Kong. You know, like there's actually these higher stakes events going on like almost every weekend of skirmish season. So if you wanted to like kick back and have like a weekend at home, watch some fab, that was always an option. But then you're torn of, well, you could go out and play skirmish season versus actually now, you know, anyway, there's just a choice. Whereas before it felt like there was only one thing to do per weekend if you wanted to do Flesh and Blood. But Flesh and Blood is ramping up. That's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Hey, yo, good to see you. Glad Vasily won it. Hey, Ashikaze. Hey, you've been so quiet in the League of Levia chat. What's up with you? What's up? You doing all right? One of your locals took down a skirmish on Boltyn with 8 cracked baubles. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Obviously, draft. I'd love the full story, vice versa. You want to drop it. Genus and the first Arakni are the ones that are missing. And you're going to your Precon skirmish in an hour. Madagon, that is so sick. I wish I had a Precon anywhere close to me. The closest one was in Canada, and I don't have my renewed passport yet. I'm still waiting on it. So I actually can't go to Canada right now, even if I wanted to. But the closest one was like a 3-hour drive in Canada, and I thought about it. I really want to experience the Precon skirmish. I've heard nothing but good things. I heard on the down low that Katsu's probably the best deck. If you really want to win it, take Katsu. All right, also, can you guys let me know, is the quality tanking on your end? Because the OBS stats are saying I'm dropping like 12% of frames. My internet is like really bad today. That's the first time I've seen it tank like this. Apologies. I wonder what's open. Give me a second here. Maybe I'm streaming something I shouldn't be in the background somewhere. I guess I can close this. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, actually, I know what it is. I'm uploading a video right now. Yep. So that has to finish uploading to the drive. That's going to take like another 15 minutes. All right, whatever. We got 15 minutes of a bit of lag, and then we'll be fine. Oh, you're doing History Pack 1, so you can... It'll be amazing. And that means you can play Katsu, right? Yeah, Katsu's in that one. Sick. Really glad for asking. I'm pretty fine as for now. Things have hardcore changed for me since last month. You'll go into details in DMs. Well, you were finishing school, right? So I imagine there's just a lot of busy stuff going on. Wait, no Katsu decks because it's History Pack 1? What are you talking about? Isn't HP1 a Katsu thing, or did they split it up? I don't know how those releases work. Because obviously, like, he's part of... I mean, he was in Outsiders. I don't know if he counts as, like, an Outsiders Precon. That'd be kind of weird. Retailers. Let's see. Live discovery here. History Pack 1. Where would the Precons be? Maybe on the same page? No. Oh, wait, yes. Oh, check this out. Okay. He's just not in HP1. Well, I mean, his cards are in HP1, but he's not in the Blitz display. Oh, interesting. I wonder how they decided on that split. Maybe it really was for balance purposes. Because let's see, what is History Pack 2 then? I love the art on History Pack 2. Underutilized. When I did the Calling Indianapolis stream, I themed it around the History Pack 2 look, like kind of the soft blues, the running water. Oh, I thought it was so beautiful. Okay, well now there's not even the Blitz thing. So where's Katsu? Where's Katsu in the mess of Blitz decks? Does he count as outsiders? I guess we should go check. This shows you I really don't have an LGS. Oh yeah, okay, so he's in the outsiders. Blitz deck. Interesting, interesting. Alright, there we go. It is an outsiders, yes, yes, now we see it. Alright, well, enough of that, enough of that. HP1 still looks pretty fun. That's quite a mix. You got Viserai and Kano in there. I would have no idea what to pick. You want my pro tips of someone who would absolutely sack their run? Here we go. If I had to pick an HP1 deck to play, I think my gut would default to Bravo being way too good against the average player, because at minimum you should be able to just fall back and swing Hammer, and Hammer's pretty good. In a similar fashion, Rhinar can do the same plan. So I'd probably have to take a bit of a look at card quality between the two to decide like which one does that better. But having a weapon that deals 4 is pretty big. I think they all have AB2. So there is a world where Kano can just, I think, abuse you. There was a game that 3 Floating did for the official Flesh and Blood channel that was Viserai versus Kano. And Kano just blocked until he had the guaranteed win. So like maybe that always works. Even into these decks, I mean, they're likely resource heavy, but with only AB2, Kano can get you lethal at some point. I would have no interest in Viserai, honestly, but I could see a lot of people wanting to play it, since you can't play him in normal Blitz. And then, same deal, like if Dorinthia's deck quality is terrible, I would just never touch this deck. Card quality matters so much to actually make your Dawnblade do anything. And then, I feel like Dash probably gets fatigued out. I don't know, does it come with Induction Chamber? If it comes with Induction Chamber, maybe you're safe. I haven't seen the list on these, but I would say probably like first pick, second pick would be like somewhere of my thought processes. What were you picking, Madigan? What was your idea? Bravo's the only one with D-Reacts? See, that seems pretty powerful, honestly. 2 red Sinks, 2 blue Staunch, and blue Unmovable? Well, that's nuts. That's nuts. Mr. Zeta would pick Viserai. Yeah, honestly, for the right person, this is probably really fun, because you just don't get to play him that much anymore. Dash has Cognition Nodes to prevent fatigue. Oh my god, what does that card even do? Cognition Nodes, you say? Cognition Nodes. If there are no steam counters on Cognition Nodes, put a steam counter on it, go again. Okay, cool. Normal action. Once per turn attack reaction, remove a steam counter from Cognition Nodes. Target attack action gains if this hits put on the bottom of the deck. Oh. I don't think I've ever seen this played in my life. But that's quite nice. It doesn't break. It's up to you. Like, it just sits there. It just sits there. Wow. Pretty interesting. See, this is what I mean. I would love to have played the constructed format, or the pre-constructed format, rather. It looks really cool. Like, in theory, the decks were all designed to play against each other as well. Maybe I can pitch that to my skirmish tonight, because my armory. My armory is 2 Levia players and 2 Prism players that are local, and then if some of the further away people come, it gets more spicy. But it has been tough to just sit down and play like a Levia mirror and two Prism games. A Levia mirror, 2 Prism games, because it's like a little, it's too easy. It's too easy. My locals needs to shake it up, I think. But it's all right. I inspired the Levia player, and then Prism, just got dropped in Dusk Till Dawn, so people were hype. It makes sense. Maybe I should just not play Levia then. I should switch. They're crowding me off. Okay, anyway, let's take a look at the deck today. From what you've heard, says Emery, the Viserai one is poorly built in terms of non-attack actions, so the ratios are very off. From what I saw, actually, hold up, before we go into the video, let me just show you what I saw from Oh, actually, it wouldn't be on 3 floating. It would be on the official Viserai versus Kano Fab TCG. Okay, here we go. In the official Precon... Oh, Aiden. My god, I love you, Aiden. What a sight for sore eyes. I miss these guys. Hanging out with them in Cincinnati is just the most fun you can have. There's our boy Sam. Look at that sly look. Anyway, they played a game for the Fab TCG channel, Viserai versus Kano, and supposedly the behind the scenes on this was hilarious because they recorded it multiple times because they wanted to get a quality game out there, because the idea is this matchup should sell people who are new to Flesh and Blood on the game. You know, these are the precons. So you know, if you show a new player, hey, like, look how fun Viserai versus Kano is, you want it to be a good game. You don't want it to be a stomp. You don't want it to look clunky. You want the decks to do what they're supposed to do, right? So apparently they sat down and recorded this multiple times because Kano was just absolutely stomping Viserai. And the games were not close, and it made Kano look super degenerate because, like, poor Viserai just, like, couldn't get a turn through. So they recorded it until they finally got what they thought was going to be, like, a good game. I forget the exact ending, but something hilarious happens at the end where Jacob is just like, no, bro, like, you've got lethal, stop. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they try to play a close game, right? They're playing a close game, and Sam has this whole narrative of like, oh man, like, you know, I can only hit you for 3. Like, what do you got? What's happening here? And Jacob's just like, bro, I have AB1. And the game is just like over. And all of a sudden, Sam's like whole pitch stack potion and deja vu combo just like doesn't matter. Oh, it was so funny. This is actually really worth watching. It is hilarious, this matchup. But it's funnier to hear the behind the scenes as well, because apparently Jacob was just absolutely mauling. Like, this matchup was so unplayable, so unfun. And also props to Sam, because I think if it was like me playing the Kano, it probably would have been a way closer game. But Sam just knows what he's doing, I guess. Unbeknownst to all of us. I mean, the dude's casting all the time, and yet he's a great player. And so there you go. I would go back and watch this if you can, and just look for the subtleties of, like, you know, whenever it cuts to Jacob, right? Whenever you see Jacob on an interview or something, just know this is like the 8th take. And they're trying to keep energy high. Oh, so funny. So funny. Okay, anyway. Let's take a look at the deck today. Hey, what's up? Just started Fab, coming from MTG and Levi, caught your eye. Been enjoying your content, would love some tips on, like, a step between Precon and what you run budget-wise. What I run budget-wise? Man, that's such a tough question, because I can't even, like, sympathize, or empathize, rather, with that position. When I went in on Fab, I had some, like, seed money from selling my Pokemon, and I was pretty convinced, like, Pokemon was never my game. I enjoyed it for a time, but I didn't really want it to be my game. So as soon as, like, Flesh and Blood called me, I'm like, all right, I'm in. Like, I'm dumping my money. I know I like this game. So I, like, literally within, like, a week of starting the game or so, just picked up everything. Like Skullcap, Heart of Findel, Eye of Ophidia. It was a good time back then. Having money in your wallet feels nice. Now it's a bit different. So I just had the money and didn't have to make budget considerations early on. I think the easy suggestions have always been, for Levi players, like, especially now, if you don't have Carrion Husk, there's the new Cloak of Darkness that is pretty decent, because it's, or what is it called? Shroud of Darkness? Oh, no, it is Cloak of Darkness. It is Cloak. There are some new cards in Dustledon that can, like, help you still get pretty strong power levels out of being Shadow that you just didn't have before. It's like Cloak is pretty interesting. It's not better than Husk, obviously, but it is dirt cheap, right? But you can try, like, Barkbone strapping over it as well. You can replace normally, like, Artivores with Yellow Dread Screamers pretty easily. That's a go-to swap. And then also just, like, try not running Command and Conquers. You don't need to run Command and Conquers. That's more of a I want more points against Lexi type of thing. So if you make those 2 swaps, the rest of the deck should be pretty cheap. You know, this is saying 470, but that's Husk, that's the Art of Wars, that's like the Scowling Fleshbag. You don't need Scowling Fleshbag either. It's a great card, but you can definitely get away with even just maining Spoiled Skull, which is actually what this list is doing. This list just like straight runs Spoiled Skull unless you need the block. So that's another interesting way to play it. And you'll learn a lot about Levia the harder you make the deck for yourself, which is what we all did for the past 2 years at this point. Just, we played the worst deck in the game, but we stuck with it. And now you're joining Levia at a point where she's pretty decent, but if you don't go straight in at full power, you'll appreciate still kind of the complexity of the hero and what her lows feel like compared to her highs and all that. You'll get a better experience of that. Although maybe that's not what you're looking for, because frustration is definitely one of the side effects of playing Levia. Like, it really is. So if you get a little too frustrated with the deck, well, the budget options are going to make it, they are going to make it more frustrating, not going to lie. The power level is going to dip. It does get more frustrating. Okay, also, you said Swing Big is expensive. How expensive is Swing Big? I've not looked at this TCG player. Oh, there it is. Swing Big. Whoa, Swing Big, carrying some weight. There you go. Woohoo! My spoiler card. It's pulling through. Why did it spike? What was this? I thought it was like a $10 card, which is, yeah, like about where it was in May. I guess it's the Levia hype. Like, yeah, this is Dusk Till Dawn. Okay. I mean, I get it. It makes sense. Levia is more playable than she's ever been. Sure. Sure. Pokemon is fun, but it's hard to invest yourself into the game. My issue with Pokemon was more so like at the local scene, it was fantastic. I really loved playing with the different age groups, playing with the kids, traveling out like out in the local sphere was really fun for the game. But I had zero interest in moving up to like regionals for the game, and yet I do want that out of whatever game I'm playing. Like when I played X-Wing, I loved traveling for X-Wing. I traveled for every regional I could, went to Worlds, like Nationals, Continentals, things like that, because I wanted to place. You know, I knew I could do decently. Like I got top 4 at Continentals. Was it even Continentals? What a weird term. It was Gen Con, whatever the big Gen Con event was. And so like that sparked my fire of like, well, I want to keep trying to do this. But I just had no interest in doing that on the Pokemon front because the format is so different than what you get to play on the local level. On the local level, you're just playing best of ones and it's super casual. But the divide between that and going to regionals where all of a sudden it's best of 3 and people try to like game you on like, you know, going to time and things like that. It was just, I didn't even know how to get that experience if I wanted it. So I just felt like, nope, I couldn't really be as competitive in this game even if I wanted to, because I just like, there's just such a gap between what I'm doing at locals and what a regionals would be like. Just not interested. Just don't really want to make that my life right now and sweat it. Doomsday, sure, Doomsday's like $30. Redeemed. Oh shoot, I forgot about Redeemed. Okay, that is the unfortunate part. This is true. You do need this card now, and it is like what, $90? That's a little unfortunate. It's the Levia tax. You do have to buy this card. In reality, though, if you've got like a nice locals group, I mean, just you can proxy it. It's not like you need it in your deck to be shuffling up and playing. You can just, you know, have the rules printed out on the side and just conceptually like know what you need to be doing with the card before you decide to really buy in. Because yes, this card is expensive and it's only playable in Levia, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Are you planning to show an updated Levia list before Nats? Tudor, the unfortunate part is I can't show the full Levia list before US Nats at least, because it would jeopardize the people on the team who are playing it. Normally, I'll always share what I'm playing, but for this Nats season, it's not just me. There are other people on the team invested in Levia, so now that other people could just be affected by me being too public, I cannot play the Levia list or show the Levia list that I'll be taking to Nats before Nats. But the good news is US Nats is the first weekend of Nats. So as soon as US Nats happens, of course, list is out there. And you'll also have results of like how I do and how some people in the team do. So we'll know if we were super off base or if it was actually legit. And then all the other subsequent Nats, I mean, I think, yeah, what, like the other 50 Nats that are going on in the world, you can look at the list and you know, play it if you want. I'm not saying it's the best list or anything. We're definitely taking some calculated risks in playing a deck that has like a pretty tight Lexi matchup, you know? But that's that's a fine place to be. Every deck has a weakness, and so leaning into, all right, like if you're playing Levia, you can't assume you're going to win the Lexi games, but if you can try to fix everything else, she's actually in a pretty good spot. So that's really where the list is, and I like it a lot. I've really been enjoying it. But no, I cannot share it card for card at least. But in the League of Levia Discord, if you ask a pointed question, I can get back to you. But not even in DMs. I feel really bad. People have asked like, "Yo, if I keep it secret, can I see the list?" And the reality is like, no. A link is a link, and we just can't do that right now, unfortunately. Went to the Calling in Birmingham. Was your first ever tournament, and oh man, it was amazing. I wish I could have been there. The EU of venues, for one, are just always fantastic. The whole feel of a concrete floor convention center is just foreign to Europe. Well, that's not true. Lille was pretty similar to kind of the way US venues work. But normally in the US, the venues are straight up just your feet are going to hurt. You're not going to have much to look at. And you're going to be downtown where the Ubers are expensive and parking sucks. That's just always it. But in Europe, what a difference. What a difference. The venues are beautiful. Everything's so accessible. Especially after Lille, for one. After the event, just wandering around and exploring the city was the best part of the day. It was just beautiful walks wherever you wanted to go. Winding streets, just the walkable nature of Europe is just something I so miss about living there. I used to live in Budapest, and truly, I just never in my life would want a car if I lived in Europe. I don't think ever. And now we're in the US, where I just talked about the skirmish season. Part of the problem of making it to all these skirmishes is I need my car, and I share my car with Woman Sant, and that is an issue. Logistics are just such a different world in the US. Such a different world. Ay. And you went 3-3? Nice. You really don't enjoy Pokemon now that you've played other games. You went to Worlds for it. You've had your time with Pokemon. It doesn't have the depth you're looking for. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not the deepest game. When you miss interaction points, how deep can you go? Right? You can call it playing chess in terms of you just take your best move, your opponent takes their best move. But if that's what you want to do, just play chess. Pokemon is got a lot more variance tied to it, and yet that's how the turn cycles work. You just make a play. Your opponent just makes a play. You just make a play. And the swingy nature of some of the coin flip cards was the other biggest turnoff for me. The fact that Crushing Hammer was run in so many tier 1 decks in Pokemon, and it literally was a coin flip card, 50-50. And the problem is you're not really taxed for running those cards in Pokemon because there's so much card draw. So all of a sudden it wasn't like you were burning a card for no effect if your Crushing Hammer missed, because you could just draw 20 cards that turn. So, just see 2 Crushing Hammers, and then 1 works, and then you're fine. But then your opponent is just wildly behind, because an energy attach for some decks is still night and day for whether their turn's playable or not. Anyway, yeah, we're over it. Pokemon's gone. Not playing it anymore. So happy that you won't have to Uber anywhere at US Nats, the best part of Vegas. Yes, that's fair. US Nats is, that's a walkable city. That one's gonna work. Can bounce all around, all the different bars. It'll be fun. I need to figure out what I'm doing for rooming at Nats. I had an offer to stay with someone who had a timeshare literally at the venue, and I've just not followed up. So I got to get on that. Ethan, if you ever find the time to come to Lucerne, if you like walkable cities, Pascal, the glasses guy, lives here as well. Oh, shoot. So what is that? Is that Switzerland? Where's Pascal from? I think it's Switzerland, right? What a nice guy. He fixed my old glasses. I think he needs to fix these again. It's coming loose on one side. Take Sandra with you. Yes, so it's weird. Okay, look, we haven't even played the game yet. We haven't even played any games yet. We haven't even looked at the list, but if you want some more story time. Sandra and I met at a point in our lives where we'd already done the majority of our traveling, and then, had settled into, well, for me, it was my junior year in college. So I'd already, taken my gap year. I'd already done my study abroad year. I'd already done all my traveling as a kid. And then in college, you kind of don't have money for it. So ever since we've been together, we haven't had our big trips yet. Every once in a while, every 2 years, we go on something really nice. which is cool. But I used to be a much better traveler than I am now. You know, when it was on my parents' dime. So I've got all these experiences of traveling to Vietnam for a couple weeks, living in Taiwan for a year, living in Budapest for a year, solo traveling across Europe for a while, spending summers in Chile. I've done a lot, but it was all before Sandra. And so that's always been our goal, is just she needs a break with her PhD stuff, and I need money. Once those two things can converge, then we can go on all these trips again, and I can show her a lot of the world that she's never seen before, which I can't wait. Like, to go back to Budapest for Christmas, to go back to Taipei for like New Year's. I mean, those are life-changing moments, and I really want to do them sometime in the future. That's what fuels me, you know? Wait, I still need a room? I don't know. I got to follow up Emery, because I think I've got a space, but I'm just not sure. But I'll hit you up after, if that's all right. Okay. You know what? Here we go. Into the deck. So this deck won a skirmish with the piloting of Vasily, who... Okay, the internet's fixed now because the video's done uploading. So legitimately, maybe I was stalling for that. You'll never know. All right, actually, I need to link this, though, to my friend so he can get things going on it. Yuan-G. Here it is. Okay. So this list won a skirmish last weekend. This was in Greece, piloted by Vasily. If you don't remember Vasily, he is the Levia player who got top 4 at Greek Nationals last year. He was playing a full aggro Levia build in the Oldhim meta, where he got to the point where he could fatigue Oldhims. That was the entire point of the deck, was just be really unrelenting. On every 4-card hand, you want to at minimum present 12 damage, and if you're doing that, then eventually, you would fatigue a deck. Even if you couldn't construct like a win-win by going over the top, I mean, apart from the normal ways Levia does it with like a Blood Rush, but without like the other ways to close a game like Writhing Beast Hulk, the closers that could come out of nowhere are really just like the 1 Reckless and the 3 Pulping. So the deck was really built around just being overwhelming. And the decks that got stuck on 2 blocks would get a little bit run over. The decks that could run 12 would literally just get fatigued because you trade 2 cards for every 1. Like they're blocking 6, but you spent 1 to do it. So that was the idea of the list. And he got all the way to top 4 and had some cool games on camera as well. So this was like the old full aggro Levia, as people called it, because this is like the Pulping, the Wild Rides. It was very different because at the time, mid-range Levia, like Recursion Levia, was how I was playing into Oldhim and having good success, because when you do it that way, you don't, like, you also, like, don't fear fatiguing yourself because you've got all this, like, recursive power in the Howls, and it's just a different way of constructing, like, the 12 damage turns. With the Vasily version, it was just throw your full card of 4, and that will deal 12. In the Recursion version, it was throw 3 cards, and you can still deal the same 12. But with a lower ceiling, because you couldn't just like randomly have Wild Ride, Pulping, Wild Ride, Boneyard, like whatever. You couldn't have these crazy turns that could sometimes spike up in a Vasily list. Anyway, the man's an innovator is my point. Man's an innovator because he was doing something different. And we even see that now in the Skirmish deck. The Skirmish deck here is a Hellhammer full aggro Levia build. And this is unique. I mean, in terms of Hellhammer, the way I'd been thinking about it was as a safety net on a recursive shell. I'd seen some people trying the idea of like, well, it is, it's just 6 damage for 1 card. Like sometimes you fit that on a cost curve of, spending that other resource, pitching a blue somewhere else. That should be pretty nuts, math-wise. So like Yuan-G, for example, had been testing a Hellhammer Levia for Blitz. And instead he went with Vincent and won the most recent Battle Hardened, so, I'm glad he stuck with it. But there were some people interested in like a Hellhammer aggressive Levia list and getting it to work. But I personally, like I said, I haven't been playing the Skirmish season, so I haven't really looked at it. And then out of the blue, Vasily just like did it. Vasily just did it. Truly. I didn't see him posting anywhere on the League of Levia about like, oh, you know, what do people think of this list? Like, oh, here's like how it's been going so far. Just randomly, hey everyone, I want to skirmish with this Hellhammer list, which is so cool. So cool. And we don't know too much about the run. I've been a little too busy to collab on a video right now. There's other stuff going on in the background, obviously. I just finished producing a video for Runaways, the Vincent Blitz video. That should be out today. So I know I'm not uploading a ton on this channel, but the Runaways videos are mostly going through me to some regard. And then obviously Nat's testing and the streams and all that. But I do apologize. I want to put out more videos on the main channel, probably like once every 3 weeks. Something like that is pretty manageable. But I'm just also not playing in a lot of events anymore. I'm streaming them, right? Or I'm unfortunately missing them in regards to like the Skirmish season. And that definitely cuts the excitement of like, oh, this deck did really well. Like, let me just, you know, make a quick video on it, which is how, you know, kind of the last format of videos really worked for me was, oh, this deck worked. Like, let's just share it real quick. I just have less opportunities for that now, because if I'm streaming the event, what the hell do I know about about what Levia is doing? Although that's not exactly fair, because like with Team Runaways, the Levia decks were something we all worked on, so that was cool to at least share that a bit. Do I get judge packs as compensation? No. Nope. Nope. It's different. So in the US, the TOs step up and like host the events, right? And the SCGCon circuit of events just doesn't have a coverage team. They used to. Not for Flesh and Blood, but like for Magic, even on the road, they would have a coverage team. And they would handle it all with compensation, payment, all that. But they axed it. They don't do that anymore. Instead, they opened up a like community pavilion where like they set up boundaries and like anyone can go and stream if they want. Generally, this was just for Magic. Actually, it's not even pavilion. There's no cover. It's just like a section of the room where they allow like Magic streamers from the community to come and stream events. I saw that at a couple Battle Hardens that I'd gone to, and you know, since I was traveling for them anyway and streaming some other events back in Michigan, I thought, well, you know, maybe they wouldn't mind if like someone in Flesh and Blood did this. So I asked them, and they said they were fine with it. So that's how I started streaming some of the Flesh and Blood events at these SCG cons. It was just volunteer, basically. They don't do coverage. They've let the community take it over, and there's a couple of people who do it for Magic. There's like Anurag Das, there's Corey, and then there's only one person who does it for Flesh and Blood, which is me, at the SCG cons at least. But the other TOs do it differently, because whenever a TO takes up like the reins of a big event, it is up to them to decide what they want to do for coverage. So some TOs do want it, some TOs don't. In the like SCG aspect, they don't. They just like they've got too much else going on, I guess. You know, they're whatever other focuses pull their attention, like it's just not Flesh and Blood coverage, which is fine. But then other TOs sometimes do want coverage, and they'll go out of their way, like MinMax Realm Games, for example. They put on, you know, a show when they host an event. So when that happens, there is compensation, because like they are going out of their way to like put on the coverage and like hiring the casters and getting that all together. Whereas SCG just lets it be volunteer. So there's kind of like the split model that I work with, where I get sponsors involved for the SCG events and sell sponsor slots. And that can help cover expenses, because, you know, it isn't actually free to do a stream. There's the travel, there's like the paying the casters. So by selling the ad slots, it does work out at least to make it so it's doable. Not a great business venture for now, but we're trying to fix that. And yeah, what would be nice is some compensation to some degree, because, you know, giving up the event to run to run like coverage isn't exactly akin to like what a judge is doing. A judge is probably in like, I don't know, like more high pressure situations, like turn by turn, like their judge calls like literally can make and break people's tournament runs. So like they're definitely under a lot more pressure and give up their time, give up their availability to play the game and all that. I don't know if it's quite the same as like what a caster or like producer is doing to kind of like warrant the judge packs. They're called judge packs anyway, so I've never really thought about it. I'm not too keen on like trying to make that my angle. They're judge packs, right? Maybe one day they'll be like a coverage pack, but they're different things as of now. You know. Anyway, we were looking at the deck. So this deck, from what Vasily did tell us in the Discord, he has his brief moments of where he'll share details and then disappear again. He basically said that you're trying to just construct an 18 damage turn as soon as you can with Hellhammer, and that just like takes the momentum away in a blitz game. It's actually super similar to what the Vinset deck that Yuanji played at the Battle Hardened is doing. You'll see the deck tech for that probably today because I did just finish it, but the idea behind that deck as well was we're going to use Vexing Quillhand to really make a 4-card turn deal like 21. If that's possible, then that's the momentum you need in Blitz to just take over the game. Because it's Blitz, like as soon as your on hits say lethal, like on hit dead, the game changes drastically. So that was the idea on the Blitz deck for Vinset, which is why it just won the recent Battle Hardened. You pop your equipment early and just take the momentum, and then put your opponent in positions of, well, now they must block. So the opponent can't do the same thing to you, where they're just looking at their hand and they're like, okay, this is the hand, and they always get to keep it. You're trying to push them out of that scenario, right? So this list functions very similarly, and you're looking to construct basically your 18 damage turn as soon as you can. So you're getting that off of like the go-agains into an attack, into Hellhammer is like the ideal scenario of just slamming them. And once you have that momentum, cards like Spoiled Skull look a lot better than defensive options, because if you've slammed them with aggression, then you got that off of the back of like your Blood Rush, your Pulping, your Wild Ride, Dread Screamer, like something got you there, right? Like some go-again attack really pushed you over the line. And then Spoiled Skull lets you recall one of those pieces and basically do it again and make it so that you don't lose that pressure. So I've played this list like the tiniest bit on Talishar, and honestly, I was doing terribly with it, like horribly. So we're going to do it again live today and see if we can fix that. But for me, it's missing some key components of like what wins a Blitz game. For me, Dominate is just the strongest keyword in the game in Blitz. Like Dominate just says, oh, okay, I've got you to the point where like I'm waiting for a singular card that wins me the game. Like cool. Like the game becomes so much like lower stakes at that point. You know, you're just waiting for your Writhing. You know, you're waiting for your Convulsions, whatever it is, right? And the list isn't running Writhing or Convulsions or even Reckless. So it doesn't have a lot of like ways to close the game, which is what I was finding difficult even in Talishar games. Because if you don't get to hold like the big hand, then you don't really break math on these turn cycles. So we're going to try to fix that. We're going to try to play it today and do a little better. I should probably play this at my armory tonight just for more on the grounds experience. But here we go. All right, we got all these Blitz players looking. All right, can you beat a Chane with this deck? We will find out. We will find out. So generally, with the more aggressive list, you do want to go second, but we are against Chane. Giving them a Shackle is terrifying turn one. Giving them a Shackle in Arsenal means they can just out the gate construct. They're like 20 damage dumb turns, so I think I can't risk that. Okay, fun. Hellhammer, Spoiled Skull as an AB piece, sure. I don't think we need to touch the equipment, honestly. Maybe Grasp over Goliath. But then again, it is Chane. We need to just force them low. So I guess my aggression might be worth more than Grasp. Alright, let's see it. Let's see it. Alright, so if I was going second, this hand actually would be live. I would just Art of War banish the Pulping, say go again, at least be able to throw out Diabolic, and then maybe an attack if you draw it. If it wasn't the attack, then it would just have to be Hellhammer as the attack, and then it's gone on a 12 damage turn, which doesn't feel great. So I actually think I'm fine with this hand going first. This is non-block, 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 and it is Chane. They want to make a Shackle, and they also could cheese in damage with Rune Chant. So if I went second, there was a chance I just ate insane damage on this turn as well. So I think we were fine. We were fine with this choice. The question now becomes, Get some graveyard fill in with pulping alone, but let them filter. Or try to hold the pulping for a 5-card play. I think we'll just do this. Hold pulping in the hopes that we get to kick off some 5-card play. The Art of War Diabolic is at least something. But then we drew a Dread, which might be live. You figure we're going to fill the graveyard with a Diabolic, an Art of War, and the Goliath Gauntlet. And the Diabolic will count as a 6. Oh, well, that's only if we banish the Dread, so we're not even looking for +3 this turn, really. You'd be interested to see how this goes. You haven't lost to Levia. It is pretty impossible to beat Chane with Levia, so that's not surprising in the slightest. Chane is just hands down better than Levia in basically every regard. His armor is better, his damage is better. I mean, it's split damage as well. The only difference is he doesn't really beat Yoji, and Levia at least has a shot. But then Levia also just doesn't beat Chane, so, like, you know, weigh what you're giving up, right? I mean, we can probably get the 18 damage turn off next turn. You figure we say, go again. It can be Diabolic, Pulping, Hellhammer. Like, boom, we drop it. But then we are losing Husk. Then, or not losing Husk. We're just, like, playing into their Husk, rather. Alright, that's the end of their turn here. We can save Husk for their next turn. Pretty decent. That's all we got. That is all we got. Although, if their next hand they just keep a blue plus Rosetta, that'd be pretty much worst case, because the Husk blocks 2. So we hope they don't do that, obviously. We hope they don't do that, obviously. In this matchup, I normally try to be greedy using Husk on whatever they play the Minnowism on. Your window for it is so small, but that's how you get the block 6. Otherwise, Husk doesn't block 6 in this matchup, which is pretty sad. Okay, so I guess we have 18 damage. Guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed, if the pulping misses, right? So, in theory, this is the push into trying to be overwhelming, but it's the deck with more armor than you. So how do you really do that? And this is a terrible arsenal. All right. We love the looks of this. I mean, it's a better arsenal than Soul Harvest, at least. I'll give it that. Better arsenal than Soul Harvest. Hey, Steel, for this won a skirmish, buddy. So you calm down. This won a skirmish. $18 damage off of 4 cards. I mean, is that better than just playing a Claws deck and drawing Blood Rush in the same scenario, you know? Questionable. Okay, so they kept cards. We can get Husk value. Nice. Nice. We don't have our own blue, which, you know, honestly, that's fair because we clumped a ton of blues early, so the Endless Maw play, which would have looked nice, we just can't pull off. Also, with the pulping as the red non-block, it's also stuck here. So, pretty rough, actually, this hand. Pretty rough. Alright. Husk will not block 6 this game. Oh well. How big was the skirmish? You want a 15-person skirmish with a Briar deck without Anthem of Spring or Coax of Commotion? Yeah, I don't know. It's Greece. I don't have a great read on the player base out there. on how big they are. But they're loud, and I think Marios can probably let us know. You were probably there, Marios. Wait, what? That was their entire turn? Did that not have go again? He forgot the shackle? What the hell? The dude didn't shackle. I mean, he can undo that if he wants. I'm fine letting him undo that, but sure. We'll take it. We'll take it, baby. Well, I guess we just get our Endless Maw play then. Don't hate that. If they're not gonna hurt me too bad, I guess I won't hurt them too bad either. We'll take a 5-card 9. Oh, you're in London. You know some people from the Greek scene. Ah, okay. Do you know anything about that skirmish then? Greece gets pretty competitive. Yeah, I figured. Vasilis. You say the S. Vasilis, not Vasily. Vasilis. Okay, there we go. Levia can beat Chane, confirmed. I don't have any idea what was going on there. We're counting it though. Boom. Talishar games. Talishar games are Talishar games. Here we go. No, that can't count. That can't count. What on earth just happened? The opponent got caught playing Talishar at work, I think, and they had to close the tab. They got caught at work. All right, it's Briar. Briar now, in theory, is like the same plan. Same plan as last time. Although Scowling probably gets higher value against Briar, specifically. They can't even like try to creepers around the flesh bag trigger because they run snaps. All right, we're taking Scowling instead. Here we go. All right, decent going second hand. We have a pulping. Yes. My god, how much arcane am I going to be hit with? 1 here, the Rosetta, just 3. The Rosetta itself now comes in for 3. It's such a cool interaction with explosive growth. Very cool. Oh, that doesn't have go again, does it? Alright, cool. Should I have actually blocked differently then? No, I did always want to keep the blue. Bit of a weird spot now because Diabolic doesn't count as a 6. Unless I discard the mark. Well, obviously we go for it. Let's see it, baby. Okay, discard Slithering. That doesn't make Diabolic a 6. Do I just slam the 18 damage right now? We could do it. Mark of the Beast, Hooves, Hellhammer. I wonder if you're supposed to take that kind of play. It's the whole point, right? It's the whole point. But we don't have Spoiled Skull to try to pull together the next hand. We would lose out on Hooves as well. But the only other thing I could do is realistically swing Hellhammer Arsenal. And to burn Hellhammer on just a 12 damage turn with kind of pretty medium Arsenal picks. Nah, I'm not doing it. Full send, baby. We're in. This is the point of the deck, right? It's Blitz. Just deal your damage. Missed a message in your Talishar chat. Huge fan of your work. No, I did see that. Oh, I just need to respond because chat's on. Hey, thank you. Thank you. More coming soon. More events. All right, here we go. Break Chane. Break Hooves. We're in. All right, 18 damage. 18 off 4. Out the gate, it only cost us our weapon and our hooves. But now what? Now what? You know, we're risking like just drawing so dead now. But 8 is low. 8 is low. Well, we'll give it that. Okay, hand is playable. Hand is playable. And they're playing Art of War in Briar. and they started with a red pitch. All right. This is a pretty decent timeline, not gonna lie. Pretty decent timeline. What does Briar really do with Art of War? No idea. They're running some funky stuff, so I just it's one missed value on the husk, but if there was a bunch of arcane or something coming, that would suck. I can actually give up 2 cards here just to end their turn and make my turn just the Mark of the Beast. I don't hate that. Denies the embodiment. Their turn just ends, basically. Yep, let's do it. All right. Playable hand, playable hand. This doesn't say on hit death yet, so in another world, maybe I'm supposed to crack Goliath, but they have armor to make it, like, not really a must block yet. I think we're going to wait one more turn to pop the Goliath for something like this, because they can obviously ignore it. Even the Goliath pop and just do this. This would have put him in a, like, the same position, basically. This list also doesn't have Reckless, so actually I know it doesn't have Reckless, but my opponent doesn't know it doesn't have Reckless. So maybe that was worth it, because they're afraid of 2, but we know there's no Reckless. Could have been. Could have been. So this is Force of Nature, but it's not higher than base. So what are they trying to do? Just snaps into Rosetta, basically? Snaps into Rosetta. I mean, I could look to flip this turn. Just go Goliath, swing big, look to flip. Could be decent. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So in theory, we'd be taking 4 down to 15. Grasp Rosetta then breaks my flip anyway, so I do need to respect the blocks here. Take 1 down to 18, then down to 15. I would just need to block this on Rosetta. So I think since I need to protect this turn cycle a little bit more, I'll go ahead and block with Scowling as well. Just because I can't really handle an attack into Rosetta. I can handle one more thing this turn and get my play off. Yeah. And this isn't the worst arsenal. If I don't end up needing to block with it, I can just Goliath, swing big, Arsenal, Graveling. Rosetta. Is that Polish? How's that Polish? Oh no, not like this, dude. Not like this. I got outplayed. Oh, now we're in a pickle. I was supposed to take damage with your last card. Why would you not at least pitch to Rosetta? What is going on? Alright, I think we're still okay. We're still okay. Denied embodiment, we're about to throw 10. Why would you not? You had 2 cards. Just swing Rosetta there. Any card swings Rosetta there. No! My opponent's too smart. My opponent is too smart. It's okay. We're so ahead I can take the 4. Rosetta. Oh, they didn't pop boots either. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. They didn't want to pop boots on that. Okay. Okay. Well, this is okay. We drew go again hands. Go again hands are good. Go again hands are pretty good. It can miss though. So we're just gonna live in the world where it doesn't miss. Is gonna be the difference here. Live in the world where it doesn't miss. Nice. Just throw 10 again. Okay. Throw 6 as the follow-up. If they full block out, then we're pretty safe on any hand we draw, because at minimum we could flip on the next hand if it doesn't turn off Blood Debt, which is kind of a risk of having Graveling in Arsenal. Nope, okay, we can get a pretty good turn here, in theory. Ooh. Alright, drawn all reds. That's okay. That is okay. See if we can land damage with the Dominate on Pulping. See if we can Arsenal the Wild Ride for next turn. Should all be good. Should all be good. We win anyway on the Pulping now. Okay, it's got Dominate. Cool. Cool. Well, okay, so what did we learn? We learned that the Hellhammer play actually does just take momentum. That's it. It's true. At least in this matchup. Although this is a bit of an awkward Briar. Art of Wars and Stings I've not seen in a long while. Maybe that's normal for Blitz. I don't know Blitz well enough. But the plan of just throw 18 and then be able to kind of tank the return with your armor and then try to do it again didn't exactly work out because we had a fumble turn on the direct follow-up. But I could see where, you know, it's a lot smoother than how we did it. Right, like if I didn't need to burn hooves to still make that first play, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, so you kind of have the turn cycles in a row of strong start with Hellhammer, hopefully smoothing it over with Spoiled Skull, and then like a finish with Goliath. I get it. I get it. Seems decent. Seems decent. I guess the difference between Hellhammer and Blood Rush in terms of like the damage they're dealing is Blood Rush is gated by literally Blood Rush, where the Hellhammer, you just need a Go Again card, and you've got so many of them in the deck. So many in the deck. Actually, we just played against this guy. We just played against him. We can do it again. I'm in. Well, I do want to cycle this hand to look for Go Again cards, realistically. There's the problem of playing out Deadwood forces the banish, but I don't know if that's the biggest deal, because we know that Blood Debt's likely getting turned off anyway with Hellhammer. So I think I'll just do it anyway. We'll just Deadwood turn 0. I normally hate doing this, but... Okay, and then we get to Arsenal swing big. It'll be fine. We're fine with this. Got one graveyard fill out of it. Alright, there's our Go Again hand. We're in. That is a whiff, because Art of War is an instant, not a non-attack. One of the reasons it doesn't normally make its way into Briar. Okay, this one hit. We got Arcanic Shockwave coming. Is this the first game? Oh, we went on so many tangents today, Sigma. This is the third game now. The first one, I think my opponent was at work and had to scoop. Not gonna lie. But this is the first real game, yes. Okay, so in terms of what we want to do with the next hand, there is a world where it can go 3 wide. Kind of a risky world, but it is possible, where we could in theory go like Graveling, swing big, Hellhammer, and get 20 damage off. That could happen. It requires keeping the full hand, obviously. It requires popping the boots. But if that's what we need to do to win the game, then I don't really mind it, right? Just launch our Hellhammer turn. Present literally lethal. 20 damage is 20 damage. The question becomes now, though, what damage are we facing? There's the Arcanic Shockwave. So we're going down to 16. Arcanic, if it fuses, puts us down to 15, presents a 4 block. If we take the 3 now, down to 16, and he pivots into just Grasp Rosetta, then there goes Husk, basically. So I do need to block with at least one piece of equipment here. I could go ahead and make it Scowling to try to just shut down the turn a little early. But if we're using Hooves, then it should be Hooves, right? It could be both. It realistically could be both here, actually. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? Yeah. Let's just do this. I'm in. I'm in. It's all about tempo gain, right? Tempo game. Let's go. There's a world if it hits the Arcanic, then all they do is Rosetta and we don't face an embodiment, which could be nice. Okay, and that becomes end of turn. Alright, that worked out decently. Just double checking the plan here. The other way to do it would just be pulping into Swing Big, arsenal the leftover card. If the discard ends up on the Mark of the Beast, then there's actually a world where I can pop hooves on that to go ahead and Hellhammer. I mean, that's like more of the iffy 18 damage play, or 20 damage play. I think it's a lot more guaranteed if I just go Art of War, pitch here, banish pulping. That leaves the one floating automatically for Graveling, so we need to just draw a blue and a red. And the turn is live, or 2 yellows. It does fall flat on double red. But I'll know that before I commit hooves or not. I will see the draw before I decide on hooves. Okay, we drew the blue and the red. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and crack it. Yes. Little sad to see the Endless Maw go. But, I mean, we needed to draw this in sequence. The only way it would have changed is if we could lead with a blue. Then we could arsenal the Endless Maw. And it's asking for a lot, to be fair. It's asking for a lot. So we'll sit pretty with what we've got. This also doesn't tax the graveyard at all. Although there are 3 misses, so maybe I wouldn't have minded 1 banish. You know, actually, there's a world where I shouldn't have cracked hooves and just launched the Endless Maw Diabolic. I think normally I would always take this play, but we're trying the Hellhammer strats, you know? It's all about the Hellhammer strats. But seeing that curve, I think normally I would... Yeah, it would just be the Graveling Endless Maw. That turn cycle's fine. Oh, actually, another interaction... You can trigger hooves off of Hellhammer. So maybe the pulping turn was worth going for first? Because I could conditionally swing Hellhammer, pop hooves on the Hellhammer. I don't need it to discard mark. Oh, that's interesting, actually. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ooh, something to look for. Very interesting. Alright, so like 3 different ways to play that turn. I think this was like the medium way. The best way was just play the Endless Maw. But the difference there is our turn would be 15 compared to 20. So we're giving up the Hellhammer and hooves for like the 5 value, but then we're also losing out in the Endless Maw. It's really marginal. I think it was better to just launch it then every time. Ooh, they've got a CMH turn coming. Alright. We can play this hand different ways. If we want, we can block down with both of these and just play the Boneyard Marauder, or we block down with 1 card and just return the Mark of the Beast Arsenal the Slithering. It's 6 damage either way, so I think I'm always trying to block 2. Obviously this goes here. It gets full value, which is nice. If their next attack is just the Rosetta, then I'm going to miss the fact that I didn't block with at least something. Yep. The difference being throwing Mark and not is a Goliath Gauntlet. So keeping Mark in Arsenal then means I guaranteed to have a Goliath Gauntlet target for next turn. My only blood debt is 1 Graveling, so I'm not really keen on just doing nothing and flipping. Obviously I also want to present lethal, right? I also want to present lethal. So I think we're going to take this 7, keep the Mark so that I can 1 card 8 on the return. Still throw 6 right now. Because this actually takes a real card. They only have 2 block on armor. So this should still put them on a 3-card hand, even though it's just 6. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Wow, it is Friday, isn't it? Alright, we did turn off Blood Debt. Nice. That was a worry because we had 3 misses. Howdy from London as well. Damn, people everywhere. Yeah, you still gotta give a real card. 3-card CMH with snaps is... I mean, that will present lethal. But all we need to do is keep a 1-card hand for the Goliath play to hopefully buy ourselves the end game there. Okay, well, that is just straight not possible with the Wild Ride draws. I appreciate that deck. Oh my god. Oh, wait, okay. So actually, we can do this. Thank God this is only a 6. Holy moly. We are getting absolutely bailed that it's only a 6 there. If it was 7, the game is basically over. Holy crap. Holy crap. Getting bailed. Okay, so now the choice is Goliath or not. They have no armor. So if I throw Mark the Beast, they have to give 2 cards anyway, because they don't have the embodiment. So I should be able to just do this without the Goliath. I throw Mark, they have to give 2 cards. I throw Goliath, they can still just give 2 cards and live at 1. So it's not changing anything right now. We'll just throw the Mark. 6. Yo, Ethan, what's up? Devin. We are doing dece, you know? Playing Hellhammer. This deck won a skirmish. It's as aggro as you can probably be in a game of Flesh and Blood. It is just launch all your equipments. You see this thing, it breaks. You see this thing, it breaks. You see this thing, breaks. Like, just slam it. Slam it. Alright, so knowing that they blocked with a 2-block there, Goliath would have forced a 3rd card. Interesting. Well, obviously here we try to keep the hand, but it gets pretty scary if they snaps on this snatch. So the other option becomes just block on the snatch. Although, what's the likelihood that I really lose the game if the snatch hits? It'd have to be another natural go again, so it would be a Scar for... Oh, they've already actually played both Scar for Scars. Okay, so I think I'm safe. Because it can't be Swarming, it can't be Scar that they draw off the snatch to go attack Rosetta. It'd have to be like Entwine Lightning, and this is a Lightning card, right? Which I haven't really seen Lightning in their deck, so I don't think that's possible. So realistically, we're saying that I go to 2, but I get to keep this hand. Although this hand doesn't actually win the game necessarily because we don't have claws. So playing out the Blood Rush is questionable. I mean, we do it, but... Ooh, that's so awkward. We have to hope to discard the Swing Big so that I can Dread Screamer and actually get 2 attacks off to win. Alright, we're going to play for that line. Very strange. Okay, they don't snaps. Interesting. Just Screamer, Swing Big? Oh yeah, that's actually super fair. 1, 2, 3. Yep. That's it. That's it. This is not a Blood Rush deck. Super true. It is not a Blood Rush deck. We don't have to play that card. Oh, where'd my card go? Just Screamer, Swing Big, win game. Yep. Yes, this is not a Blood Rush deck. We're learning. 2 set in the old ways. This math is enough. Even with the Embodiment of Earth, with the Goliath Gauntlet on the Swing Big coming in for 10, they should not live. Okay, yep. Now they definitely don't live. It was possible if that was a D-React. Beautiful. GG's. Alright, actually that is 2-0. I forgot to update. Good game. Alright. I mean, those were still... It was still the same spicy Briar list as before. Quick rematch does not work in Blitz. Or actually, like, on Talishar at all. The Levi doesn't load. So I do have to say no. Apologies, opponent. If you're watching, that's why I have to say no there. Also, I do want to try against other heroes, so let's do Arakni. Oh, let's do Boltyn. Boltyn. So the thing about Boltyn is that if he goes first, he wants to charge, and if he charges, then you can block. So it's actually pretty safe to go second against Boltyn, and this list is fine going second anyway. Boltyn should get pretty stumped by Scowling as well, so I think, once again, we're going to give up the Spoiled Skull for it. Should be okay. Let's roll it. Good luck, have fun. Oh, they're going for tanky. We're going for medium tanky. I really need them to attack. Charge your soul, please. Charge your soul. I'll accept taking damage to filter this hand. If you don't charge your soul, at least I can swing big. Arsenal a go again card. Arsenal the Wild Ride, actually, is just better than the Pulping against Boltyn, especially pitching the Pulping in for later, in theory. Okay, well, we are going to leak mad damage this turn. Leak. Gonna take 3 damage and they get Arsenal. Oof. It's great value. Great value from them. But if we draw some blues here, this could work out. Okay, there is a blue draw. Obviously want to play around the D-React a bit more than anything else here. So we're gonna go for the Wild Ride over Pulping. Okay, we can in theory go Pulping into Hellhammer now. And just start with 18 off 4. Not use hooves. That's pretty big, to not use hooves. I think we always go for it. I wanted to thank you for teaching me more about how to play against Levia. You've noticed it actually has been helping. Oh, yeah. I mean, the worst part about doing all the Levia streaming is everyone gets way better at playing against her. She has a lot of pitfalls, you know. She's a problematic hero to pilot. You're playing against your deck more than you're playing against your opponent for like a good half of the game. And if your opponent can help at all in the the way your own deck drags you down, well, then you're probably losing that game, huh? Probably losing that game. All right, here we go. We got the 4-card 18 right off the bat. They're going down to 8. We have all this armor. They used all their armor. We still have hooves. Let's go. Let's pretend. All right, we have another go again hand. We keep this hand. We keep this hand. Or we scale it down. We could also block with Dread Screamer and just return Hungering Slaughter Beast. Who cares? All right, they've got some goodies of their own. So obviously we want a Scowling to interrupt this turn. Would be quite nice. So we can do this. Gets this card out of hand. It can't be like a Lumina drop because they don't have the soul out. The sad part is I think Husk is going to get pretty low value here. Maybe I do scale down the hand then. They're already at 8, you know? I can present lethal in theory. Okay, actually the Carrion Husk here blocks like 4. It blocks the Courage. Yeah, it blocks the Courage. This is fine. This is fine value. The other option would be block with the Dread and the Hooves. Blocks 4 there. Maybe that is better though. Block 4 with the Hooves and the Dread. That buys me room. I'm just gonna Goliath just so that it like presents lethal in theory. Because with a Pulping and Arsenal as well, if all they do is block with armor, the Pulping can win the game on Dominate next turn. So I think I'm always gonna Goliath Hungering if I scale down the hand. Problem is, if I keep the hand, it's questionable. Like, what am I paying into on the second attack? So I actually don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep Pulping for a 5-card hand. Gonna keep Pulping for a 5-card hand. It's too questionable as to what it's actually doing this turn. Nice, nice. So we really pushed an efficiency out of him on that turn. We did hit a miss, which is nice, because now we can't miss, in theory, if we don't block next turn. Cool. Cool. All right. I get it now. This is the 3-turn Levia deck. You get 3 turns. You play every turn right, you probably win the game. Wow. This is very different than a more mid-range Blood Rush deck like I was playing before. Appreciate you, Hellhammer. You're a cool card. You're a cool card, Hellhammer. Even as simple as determining who goes first and how to play the turn 0. Oh, yeah. Okay, you got a Soul Shield. That takes 2 cards out of hand. If you Soul Shield, that's taking 2 cards. I'm fine with that. That's a lot of breathing room for pulping. Oh, no, they charged with the... Oh, I see what happened. They did the charge thing, so this actually blocks 3. So they would go to 1. I don't know if they really want to do that. I think they meant to play the Soul Shield, not charge it with Soulbound. So they are blocking the 8. Okay. So it's a 3-card hand. We still have Husk. We're going to have a 5-card play with pulping. Pretty good, pretty good. Well, we like the 1 costs at least. Well, this hand just really can't block. So we just don't. Husk gets pretty good value here. I mean, really all it's doing is saying they can't lethal us this turn. As long as it did that, it was getting its full value. Didn't really matter if it blocked 6. Okay, here's a choice, though. I could slow down the game for 1 more turn. Block with the Boneyard here. They're gonna go again, raid and swing me. So I would end up taking 3 down to 12. But my turn becomes just play Endless Maw, and they're at 8. And they need to give a card, because they only have 1 block left. I actually don't hate that. I think I'm gonna wait on the pulping. This hand isn't that good. I'm fine to go to 12, because if I return the Endless Maw for 9, then they're gonna play on a 3-card hand, which means they can't realistically get like a Lumina turn off on 3 cards. So yeah, we're gonna slow down. Slow it down. Wait for a better play on the pulping. Although this really wasn't that bad. They're a bunch of 1 costs. Oh, he didn't use Soul for the Raiden. That's interesting. He could have. He could have. What else are you saving the Soul for? I guess maybe Celestial Cataclysm could make sense. It's not pumped. It does get pumped because I would block it with the Boneyard Marauder. It would go from 2 to 3, and he can Boltyn. Which is exactly what happened. Because the Boneyard is a attack action. Okay, this is probably the kill hand. And he was saving for Celestial. Okay, it makes sense. Just saying not pumped if you don't block? Oh, yeah. I mean, but that gives him an arsenal. And I'd be keeping a hand that is, like, pretty medium. The Celestial here. It's kind of awkward to make this hand go 3 wide. Obviously, if there was a blue, this is golden. If we had a blue in this hand, it was absolutely perfect. So we can... I mean, it'd be a lot of fishing, but in theory, you could Art of War here. Art of War, Banish, go again. Leave the 1 float. You'd be drawing 2. The only way that you could really construct a turn that works after that would be drawing a blue and a 1 cost. Because then it would be Boneyard into pulping into 1 cost. That's a little far-fetched as well. So I think we're just going to present the 12 on this hand and move on. Well, we could also just lead with the pulping. Hope to just get a blue in hand. That's a lot of maybes. It's a lot of maybes. Because then, if that happens and we discard either the Dread or the Hungering, we just win the game. There's a lot of risk on that one, though. A lot of risk. Either way, not blocking this. Sorry, opponent. Oh, that is funny, though. If we lead with pulping, they can't turn it off because they already spent their soul shields. So the 1 is here and 1 is here. Huh. Do I go for that gamble? I haven't seen many blues this game, so I feel like it's kind of likely. But then there's the chance of, well, if I draw that blue and discard that blue, the turn just ends. The turn does just end. So we can instead just lead with the Dread Screamer, see how much damage they take, because there's a chance that the pulping just wins the game as well. In theory, could even cheese the Art of War if it's lethal. They don't have other reactions in deck, so we'll see. I doubt that ever happens. Like, what 2-block would they throw, right? It'd always be a 3-block, in theory. Yeah. Okay, they full block it. Sure. Pulping then cheeses, in theory, free damage. Or I could just launch the Boneyard. Then my graveyard is at 1. But I know I'm leading my turn with the pulping. Now we're just going to do this. Oh, it was the blue, but we discarded the blue. See? Big brain. Big brain. We discarded the blue anyway. So there was a blue on top, but pulping would have lost me the game. Okay. Okay, nice. Now we have a Blood Rush turn with hooves. Should be fine. Should always end the game here, I would think. Because it just gets 2 attacks pretty much every time. Unless I discard Beast Within and kill myself. Okay, no. Alright, this is it. We did it. We did it. Is Boltyn hyper lame? Wait, is Boltyn hype lame? What's up, David? I don't think so. I genuinely enjoy him. I think Boltyn's pretty sick. He's one of the most fun decks I've ever played, which is counter to the Twitter post I put out. Or the tweet. Jesus, there's a word for that. I ranked it as Vincent, Levia, Azuri, but I actually think Boltyn is the true number 3. Azuri has fallen out of favor for me. She used to be up there, but she did fall off a bit. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Alright, that's a clean 3-0. A clean 3-0. This game was a turn 5 game. I think it's the longest we played yet. Thought the turn cycles made a lot of sense this game. We did good. We did good. The Hellhammer start really does give you momentum. Almost through the game, though, drawing the... or going for the pulping play. Almost went for it. Almost went for it. But I think it was safe enough. We didn't have to. Did I say good game yet? Good game. There we go. Blitz. Request undo. We're hardcore out here. The hype, pretty hype, but very hard hungry. Very card hungry. Yeah, but at the same time, now you can get some benefit off of the charge cards being bannerets, which is cool. You can actually not feel like you're completely negging yourself. Plus, you got to remember that whenever Boltyn charges, it's for payoff that is truly like some of the strongest payoff in the game. Beacon of Victory is an insane card. That card is stupid. Lumina is also very good, but like Beacon specifically says, attack, react, give attack, X amount, up to you. I mean, you have to have the soul for it, and tutor a card. So you're cycling a card at the cost of soul, but you're pulling the exact card you want, and you're doing it in the attack react step. Like, what? That card is crazy. So if you can play the game where you actually get the payoff of like those beacon turns, or get a bunch of go again going because your opponent's like blocking in a way that's beneficial for you, whatever, then like the cost pays out. But singular turn cycle wise, sure, like Boltyn still is card hungry. He looks kind of bad on that front, but the payoff is nuts. I think I actually need to go Grasp because there's a couple reacts in theory that are dangerous. Maybe Scowling is enough though. That could be it. Scowling is enough. Because if I'm ever blocking over the spike stuff, it's blocking 4 with a card in hooves and then using Grasp on top. I only get to do that once per game. I only get to do that once per game, but it could be relevant, I think we'll try this. We'll try this. All right, all right. Well, we have potential highs. We could throw Graveling into another attack in theory. It gets our graveyard fill going by 2. It also banishes the Endless Maw, which if we flip is a very strong card. So we're going to go for that. Huh. Not great here. Not great here at all. There's probably a world where just passing and putting the Art of War in Arsenal is fine as well. But we've got our graveyard now at 4, pretty healthy, to not need to block and launch into our turn, as long as it's aggressive enough. This hand is really just a swing big hand. Kind of rough. So if we did hold the Art of War, then it would have banished the Deep-Rooted Evil. No, actually that's not true, because we wouldn't have cycled a card, because we can't pitch into Claws even. So we would have drawn into the Mark of the Beast, and the hand would have been... Oh wait, that's not even true. I'm missing the Deadwood and the Dread. So if we arsenaled the Mark of the Beast, or arsenaled the Art of War, the next hand would have been... Actually just not playable either. It would have been keep 2 cards for Deadwood, so... It didn't really hurt us. Finding the swing big is actually kind of the upside then, because we didn't have a better play in the next hand. Oh, what if they double spike me? I get juiced. But what if they double spike me? Oh my god. They're so aggro. What's up with that flick knives? Malign. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. If I block with Mark of the Beast here... It's gonna banish. Puts me at 2 blood debt. 2 blood debt. I would be taking, I mean, for now, just 1 to 18. They can probably spike it. I mean, you would assume they spike it, right? Puts me down to 15. Then I can actually flip with Mark of the Beast and Endless Maw on this next turn. That seems pretty good. So, like, I kind of need them to spike, though, or it doesn't work. Spike me. Spike me. Do it. Mark of the Beast is actually so good now. It used to be such a problem that this card... Oh, Razor. Okay, this is different. This is still the right damage. This is the right damage. But now, what is this card? If that card is just Arsenal, beautiful. We are in the zone. Okay, so it's not. That means I need to at least block with Grasp. And we still get the flip off. Yeah, it should be fine. Just block with Grasp here. Take 1. We do our thing. We flip. Beautiful! Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, they're gonna play it smart, though. If they do this and don't return an attack, then Carrion Husk gets no value. Actually, very good play on their end. Oh, yes, they let me get value. Hell yeah. Oh, thank God. Thank God. If they just Arsenal there, I get no value. Game's over. Okay. This looks pretty good now. We've got Mark the Beast and Endless Maw. We haven't even used Hooves or Hellhammer. So now it's about being the aggressor. Should be easy enough to just lead with a Pulping. Gains the Dominate. Cool. Cool. Now I can just slam the Endless Maw. Still breaks the turn cycle, and I can Arsenal the Wild Ride for next time. Oh, thank God. I actually should have closed the... I should have closed the Chane, because it was possible to miss. Misplay. Misplay. Oh, Doomsday's in this deck? I have not even seen that yet. We kind of have the... We kind of have the hand, though, you know? I could go ahead and block with the Boneyard Marauder. I guess I don't need the Boneyard because it can just be Dread, Wild Ride into the Mark of the Beast. That works fine. It denies their arsenal. I can just give it up here. Yeah, sure. We'll do this. I could also hedge around Wild Ride potentially missing if I hooves first. I don't know if I really want to do that. We'll just let it be up to Wild Ride. If it misses, it misses. Sure. Okay, it hit. We're good. We're in the game. And then we pull Mark the Beast. Mark the Beast and Hellhammer are like functionally the same right now, but this mills us one less card, you know? Nice. Okay, so that Art of War play turn 1 really paying off because we got the Endless Maw in the last turn cycle. Would not have worked if we didn't banish it. Still need to look to actually win the game. Breaking 4 shouldn't be too tough, as long as I, you know, see a Blood Rush. Hello, game? As long as I see a Blood Rush and can trigger hooves, it should be easy. Okay, game, hello? Nice. Okay, we're there. Ooh, wow. I almost want to just... Well, I can't hold everything. But there's a world where if I can go into the turn with Dread Screamer and Blood Rush, the game's like over. But they're only at 4, so I think it's over anyway. I don't need to be dumb about it. If that's a Codex of Frailty, that would be kind of lame. So I don't mind Scowling, I guess. Just go for the Blood Rush play right now. Yep. I mean, we're running out of windows where we could actually get use out of the Scowling anyway. Alright. Just making sure there isn't a better option. No, I mean, I could Arsenal the Blood Rush and just kind of wait. I don't hate that either. Arsenal the Blood Rush and wait. The thing is, the Blood Rush in this deck is not a... You know, you don't need a huge hand for it because you're only going 2 wide, realistically. You only attack with 2 things. And in theory, I have my 2 attacks right now. I've got either Endless Maw or Dread Screamer. So we're just going to do it. Yeah, so now I just play Endless Maw into Hellhammer and win. Yep. Actually, hold up. Can it miss? It can miss, so I need to do Hellhammer first. Or I could even dig for more resources. Do I ever get punished if I do this? Yeah, I could double draw red and then the turn doesn't work. So we're good. We're good with this. But I should Hellhammer first. Oh wait, this isn't enough resources either. Oh yeah, hold up. So I do have to Art of War. Okay. Go again, banish. I'm bad at this game. I am Zabad. No, I don't need to. Well, now it's Graveling into Hellhammer, which is still enough, right? Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I can't count today. Here we go. Boom. Got it. Nice. All right. 4-0. 4-0. All right, deck is working. Deck is working. Won that game without hooves either, which is interesting. I feel like this has been a massive card in every other game. Like it just completes your turn cycles. So the difference was just drawing more natural go again this game. I think after we already had momentum off of the early kind of flip, we just drew a bunch of go again hands. So that protects you from needing hooves. So it's just a difference of like seeing what half of your deck, I guess. That's pretty good. I mean, ending the game at 11, they're -3. How can you hate that? How can you hate that? It's pretty sick. The list is in the description. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, we got another Levia out here. Is this about to be the mirror? Oh, a Riptide. Alright. Defensive Riptide. Realistically, I think I can get over this. I just need to set up 3 wide turns with Blood Rush, which is not impossible. You figure you get probably one of them pretty easily with just a, like, Dread Screamer, Hooves, attack type of turn. The other one is gonna probably be Dread, like Art of War attack. Ooh, that's asking a lot, though, because I wouldn't have Hellhammer. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can get over the top of this. Very interesting. Very interesting. I think I'm going to need Spoiled Skull then to pull out more threat. Grasp of Darkness can help protect against weird trap damage, but at the same time, I think it's more so about me going over the top of blocks. So we're going to keep the Goliath and just ship it as is. Alright. Hellhammer seems oppressive for Commoner and Clash. I don't know about oppressive. It's a good card, but the problem with Levia and Commoner and Clash is still turning off Blood Debt, because you don't get to flip to the demi-hero. So she's just like bad Levia, just like she used to be. It's a lot safer just to play out the Deeper Evil, but you know what? I believe. We're going to discard it. Oh my, okay, game's over. Game is over. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, but they took it. Okay, so actually, yeah. Their equipment says they're more aggressive. All right, we might win anyway. We might win anyway. Thank God. That was misery. This hand, very questionable. Very questionable hand here. Falcon Wing for 6. Well, I can't really block, you know. Can't really block. Wish I had Flesh Bag, but I don't. So, this hand is pretty forced. I have to just full keep. That way I can slam out Pulping, realistically. Or just go Dread Screamer, then pitch the Pulping for Shadowpede. But, I want to draw resources off Pulping. There's a world where I can get the, like, you know, pitch the yellow here, draw a blue. Discard the, like, Dread. That's the ceiling. And then I can go Hellhammer Skittering, which would be nice. I could also just go Hungering, Slithering, which is fine. Drawing even a yellow lets me go Pulping, Hungering, discarding either one of these, put the other one in Arsenal. Yeah. Also, I think I just Husk on this for the full 6 value. I don't know if they're likely to throw another attack that high this turn. It's possible, right? Like blocking a Death Touch would be way stronger than blocking Falcon Wing, but no matter what, I'm going to be under threat of Husk this turn because I can't block from hand. Do you feel like the +2 damage done when Levi doesn't really have on hits is better? Yeah, so the difference with Goliath in like CC versus Blitz, right, is in Blitz, this is, it fills 2 roles over what blocking on hits does in CC. In Blitz, this is Graveyard Fill, which you're playing a short game. You don't get all the time in the world to actually fill your graveyard through defensive plays, which in CC you've got more room to. So the graveyard fill there is very important. Also in terms of presenting on-hit death, right? On-hit death is what you're trying to accelerate towards in Levia. Because if you do that, then it doesn't matter what the on-hits are, right? It doesn't matter that there's no text on them. It says on-hit death. And so Goliath Gauntlet being able to do that for the deck, getting you closer and also getting you to either map turn cycles where, even in the previous games, it was like, okay, if I Goliath, I know I take an extra card. Or into other matchups that are more mid-rangey, Goliath guaranteeing to deal damage over the top of their blocks is really, really important. The Grasp, I actually think the Grasp in Blitz is probably worth a bit more if you can block like weird arcane or like weird reaction damage, because that's where it gets more value than just blocking 2. Like if you're playing against a ninja, it doesn't really happen in Blitz, but let's say you're playing against like a Katsu, right? And they breaking scales, right? They committed their equipment to breaking scales. You say, okay, I'll Grasp. And then that blocks the damage, and it blocks the Katsu trigger. So it's like it's a higher ceiling than just like the block 2, and just like a normal hit effect. You're punishing them for like trying to push for something over the top, not just like a blanket hit effect. This is terrifying though. This is terrifying. We're gonna get absolutely rolled by this Riptide. Taking 11 damage. They get a Ponder. We get a Blood Rot. This is awful. Oh, I should have blocked with hooves actually. It was part of the decision point this turn. Okay, and we missed the blue draw. Yikes. So now we just launch the Slithering and don't turn off Blood Debt and take 3 total damage. Oh my god. Wait, this might be okay actually. Yeah, we drew a yellow. Alright, we're in. I don't mind the yellow. Thank you. If we drew the red, then it's like actually game over right there. This is fine. It's the same damage. Sure, we're off Arsenal. But you know what? This helped us banish a Blood Rush. So if we're going to win the game, Spoiled Skull Blood Rush, I could see it. It could happen. I super doubt, but it looks like their hand is pretty slow. So I don't mind that either. And we did turn off Blood Debt. Still taking the Blood Rot. Whew! Alright, we got Blood Dripping Skittering. Here we go. Can I somehow say no blocks and live? No. Definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, good lord. God, this is just so terrifying. I can't even go low because I'm going to die to the traps. I can't help triggering the go again or the buff ones. Pretty much ever. What is my best play then? I know I have to block 2 cards. I mean, this arrow at minimum is 7. So yeah, like I have to block. I do have to block. If that is 7, then in theory, like I want to try to protect the on-hit so I can block with the hooves and these 2 there. But going to 2 just means I die. It's fine. This game's like very over. The discard on the Blood Rush going second just ended the game. Alright, so we got our Levia variants in. Can't beat punting going second and also losing a Blood Rush. It's not possible. Oh, actually, why did I do that? This game's over anyway. Oh, I shouldn't have discarded the Deadwood. Did it super matter? Actually, yeah. Let me ask to undo that. I want to do a different discard. I want to discard the Slithering. Oh. Okay, there we go. Sorry, opponent. I just did that without thinking. It should be the Slithering every time. So I can at least Hellhammer. I mean, I'm dead to so many things anyway. This is only for... Oh, wait. Hold up. How does Frailty work with the Banish? Well, that's kind of funny. How does Frailty work with the Banish? Your attack action cards and weapon attacks have -1. So it doesn't say your weapon has -1. It says your weapon attacks. So I think it would still banish as a 6. Good God, I hope so. That's all I have in this world going for me. Come on. Let it banish as a 6. If it doesn't, then, you know, science experiment. Science experiment. Here it goes. Here it goes. Does it turn off Blood Debt? This is for science. This game was lost on turn 2 anyway. Or, I mean, my turn 1. So, we'll take the experimentation lines here. I think it would turn off Blood Debt, though, because it just says attacks, not weapons. Okay, okay. Let's see it. Let's see it. I almost hope it kills me. Please, just kill me. Just kill me. Oh, it did. Okay, it did. Friendly reminder that Talishar interactions are not necessarily how they would be for real. Oh yeah, but same premise though. Just even seeing how Talishar codes it is worth knowing. Realistically, it should always turn off Blood Debt, because Frailty says attacks, not weapon itself. It's when your weapon attacks, it is now considered to be -1. It is not just -1 on the board. Alright, we die. So many different ways. Let's let him have it. I can also choose Frailty before Blood Debt. Oh yeah, for it to expire. Yeah, that's true. That's true. On Talishar, that doesn't work though. You can't reorder consume triggers at the end of turn versus like a Blood Rot, which is pretty sad because that's a pretty big deal. Why would you? Oh, they're just flexing. That's fine. That's fine. Good game. Like if you have a Blood Rot token, you are allowed to trigger it whatever way you want in order with consumed. So in theory, if it helps you, you can just take the Blood Rot damage, still be at like 14, then flip consumed. But if it doesn't, and you're like right at 14, then you can flip consumed, then Blood Debt. Okay. We got a Dromai game? Interesting. Let's do it. Good luck, have fun. My locals used to be nothing but Dromai. It was like 3 Dromai players. Now they've swapped to Prism. Okay, against Dromai, we should be fine to just kind of play a little bit greedier even. Spoiled Skull. Keep on the aggression. Sure. Let's do it. Oh, baby. It's a spicy Dromai. Okay. Once per turn, when this or a non-token permanent you control with ward is destroyed, you can pay 1 if you do create a ponder. Once per turn, when Celestial Kimono or a non-token permanent you control with ward is destroyed, gain 1. Okay, so that feeds right into Datum. And then wave. Alright, so if I had a way to break turn math right now, I could just juice their entire equipment suite, right? Wait, I actually could. Oh, is it stupid? There's a world where I Hellhammer, right? Trigger Hooves, and then swing big for 10. So I take 2 cards, although it is also illusionist, so you figure some block for 2. I take 2 cards on that. Then swing big comes in for 10. I take 2 cards, they take 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. That just destroys their entire equipment suite. Is that worth it for science? It's Hellhammer and Hooves gone right out the gate. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm kind of into it. Can we beat Dromai without saving our equipment pieces? No. No, we're just gonna get Graveyard Fill going. No. It's popping my equipment for their equipment, right? I don't think that's worth it. And it's not even my equipment, it's my weapon. I have to ship my weapon. That's too much. And it wouldn't actually land damage. So, nah, we're good. It's funny, though. Okay, so they're still playing a relatively, like, normal core, it looks like. Oh, they're redoing something here. Ideally, my turn is just going to be, like, pop something, swing big, Arsenal Dread Screamer. In theory. Yep. That is the turn. We do this. I get the swing big going. Arsenal Dread. Dread and Arsenal should feel pretty good considering we've got everything open to us still, the Hooves and the Hellhammer. So drawing into a Blood Rush, in theory, could get the +6 or even +8 if it's crazy. If it's crazy, we could legitimately get a +8 going. So we'd have 1, go again, Hooves, No, that's only +6. All right, we need another go again in there somewhere. It's possible. It's possible. GG's. Was that you on the Riptide Shepherd? That was a pretty unfortunate game. Going second, discarding the Blood Rush was pretty much that sealed the deal from the get-go. Although it wasn't as bad as if you were Fatigue Riptide, because then Blood Rush gone meant like win con truly gone. At least into an aggro Riptide, there was a chance that you can just brick. You know, might as well pretend. But it was pretty over. Going second, only throwing 6. Also, not putting ourselves in a good arsenal there was horrible. Okay, here we go. We keep this hand. This is the go hand. Graveyard, super healthy. They're dropping a sigil. Okay, super tanky Dromai over here. Yeah, we can always let that... Well, do we want to let the snatch hit? Figure could just Carrion Husk now. Otherwise, this is going to deal 4 down to 15. There's a world where the arcane damage makes it super awkward to really get other value out of Husk here, so let's just do it. Husk. Block it. Block it. In theory, it's 7 value. Even though it's not immediate value in terms of like damage blocked, you figure the card draw baseline is 3. And we got their snaps out of the way. So they're truly on no equipment now. We traded 1 equipment, they've got 0. Feels good. Although they're playing out Sigil, is there a world where I just like pass turn? No, I can't do that. I can't do that. There goes my resource card. That is fine. Okay, so we've got Dread Screamer into Wild Ride Hellhammer in theory. In theory. Actually think... I should probably Wild Ride first because I don't care about both of these being blue. This increases the odds that the Wild Ride has go again. But then I obviously lose value if it doesn't hit, right? And then I'm punting the Dread Screamer. We're going to take the... I mean, I don't know what you technically would call safer here. This is more guaranteed damage, but throwing the Wild Ride with only 1/6 in hand is reduced likelihood of the Wild Ride hitting. I think I'm fine with this, regardless. Okay. Okay. It was a 6 anyway. Alright, we got our 3-wide Blood Rush off. Haven't used Hooves yet. This is great. Presenting lethal. In terms of Spoiled Skull targets, we want like 1 more good banish to hit the Blood Rush and the Dread. Actually, even the Wild Ride. So we do need to keep banishing. These aren't the strongest targets on Spoiled Skull. You want the go-agains. Something to kickstart the turn. Alright. We've got another go-again hand, in theory. Although we don't really need to play it that way. I can definitely just block with the Swing Big. Endless Maw, Arsenal, Art of War should feel fine. Should feel fine. A Blaze Headlong? I mean, honestly, I think in case their turn is just like, you know, play a ward, pass, I'm going to keep my options open, block with the Hooves here, because I have a chance to just go Endless Maw, Swing Big off of Hooves. In theory, if they drop a Dragon, I'm going to block with Swing Big instead, pop it, just Endless Maw, Arsenal, Art of War. But that should end the game. Just going the Endless Maw, Swing Big with Goliath should be enough, if they don't drop a ward thing, and it looks like they're not. So we should win. We should win. Even if it's a Sigil, right? It could be a D-React in Arsenal. We're still going to go for it. And it can't miss. Yeah, even if it's a D-React, right, that's enough. Blocks 9, 3 cards here. Then we come in for 10. So if it was double D-React, then they live at 1. It won't be. It won't be. Alright, it still could be. Still could be. Still could be. D-React, D-React, block. Or even Sigil, right? Nope, okay, now we're good. Now we just win. Alright, nice. You know, this deck is winning games by, like, turn 4. Almost every game. I think there was one we won on turn 5. Otherwise, it's like, turn 4 is kind of where it hits. That's pretty good. I mean, for Blitz, maybe it's a little disheartening. That is really fast playtime. I mean, I only played the game for 4 minutes. For 4 minutes. Average value per turn was 20. Wow, that's really freaking good. Yeah, in a short game, that's what Hellhammer is doing. It's crazy. I think this deck is really, really well done. The concept is so strong for Blitz. I don't know if I'd really change anything. The whole fear I had of like not having writhing is still a little real. I do miss it a bit. Like, I wonder if you could get away with cutting the Hungerings for Writhings, what that would do to what drawing all reds feels like. Right now, you're at 1% to draw 4 reds. Losing some yellows to bump up the reds would probably, what, make it like 2%? I don't know. I don't know stats. But I do miss just like the smaller hand to close. That would be nice. That would be nice somewhere. Really good, though. And I'm also not sold on the Endless Maw. I think I still want the Reckless. One Reckless is just, it's too cheeky. And also Doomsday has done nothing. This is where maybe this becomes a sideboard slot in Skirmish season rules. You figure most of the games are, I mean, they're so quick. I'm not even close to 6 Blood Debt. So this might as well be the Reckless swing. But then in a slower game, you can swap it. Bring in the Doomsday. Pull out the Reckless swing. That could work. That could work. Very good core, though. Very good core. Alright, let's keep going. We got a Benji. Alright. So Benji going first is how they cheese insane amounts of damage, so we'll just go first. Easy. It's like the game's already won on the die roll. Grasp is very strong into Benji, obviously. There's no reason to pick Cloak over the Carrion Husk. They kind of do the same thing. We want just more armor blocks, so we're going to take Scowling, and that should be good. Carrion Husk also breaks Needle, which is kind of funny. So I want Graveyard Fill going, just because I don't get a lot of block in this matchup. So I should be pretty safe to just do this. Arsenal the Swing Big. Just because Graveyard might be a little light next turn, I'd rather the Swing Big over the Endless Maw. That is the other problem, though, in taking Grasp over Goliath Gauntlet. Goliath Gauntlet would be proactive Graveyard Fill. We'll see, we'll see. There's a lot of draw discard. We just need to find some of the Pulpings, the Wild Rides, the Art of Wars. All that stuff would feel great. Blood Rush, obviously, would feel great. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. All right, perfect hand. Who cares about blocking Benji? I'd keep this no matter what. All right, so there's a world where this can be the Pulping Hellhammer Hooves Swing Big turn. It is possible. It is possible. That would be nuts. That'd be 26 damage. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Is the record honest? I feel like I might have missed. We didn't report the Chane win because that one was kind of, I mean, not a real game. But I think I caught the rest. 5-1. Ripped off the Lost Band-Aid with a Levia game. Can't miss out on the classic Levia moments. Yeah. Alright, goodbye, Needle. Peace. I will trade my husk for your weapon, I think. Most of the time anyway. There's probably argument to want it on like a Spring Tidings turn instead, but just getting rid of the Zephyr Needle, because that's normally what you get high value with the Benji ability off of, seems pretty relevant. Husk would never block more than 3 anyway in this matchup, realistically. Yeah, I don't think I blocked this Kodachi. Thinking about the hooves on that, but we'll let this one through. Block the next thing with armor, most likely. Yep, and then we can just grasp. Although if they Ancestral or Razor, that does feel pretty bad here. Maybe I actually give up Scowling? There's no way that's right. Scowling guarantees the turn just ends, whereas Grasp is like, a little risky. Also, I don't know that I'm turning off Blood Debt next turn. I figure I am, but I don't know I am. I'm also missing value on hooves if I actually do break it, which feels bad. Oh, do I risk the blowout on Razor or Ancestral? Does Benji run Ancestral? They probably do, right? Yeah, they just blocked with one. Alright, they blocked with one. No fear. No fear. They blocked with one. They don't have the other. Although they're thinking. This is terrifying now. Alright, we got him. Got him. Let's go. They also don't know that you're using Grasp, you know? They don't know. It's questionable. Oh, come on. We lost the pulping. This is misery. Well, now I have to use hooves without getting value. That's what I was thinking on the Kodachi block. It would have just saved 1 life. But we weren't always using hooves this turn. We obviously have to now. Gotta present the damage. Ugh. So sad. Man, you missed the old Needle Husk ruling? What was it? That like Needle broke instantly? Is that what it used to be? I don't know if I ever saw that happen before. But I remember there was this whole strategy with Ira into Chane where like you just take Needle because you get to break Husk. Like they always block with Husk like the first time you attack. No, Needle used to just not break. Oh. What? How does that make sense? How's that even a ruling? Just look at the cards. If it's defended by a card with armor or block value greater than Zephyr Needle's attack, destroy Zephyr Needle when the combat chain closes. I mean, that just straight says 6 on it. What's there to miss? It used to only check on resolution, and you can have Husk banished before Needle triggers. Oh. Oh, yep, so when the combat chain closes, the turn player could say, okay, banish Husk, then Needle. Ah, I see. Wow, very tricky. It's kind of lame. Glad that's gone. Wait, what the hell just happened here? What just happened here? I'm holding priority, so I should be able to close the chain. Yes. Close the chain. Oh, did I not hit close the chain? That's the, okay, that's the difference. Swing big. Let's do it. Do I think I'll actually be able to summon Doomsday? That's kind of funny. This has Blood Debt, so I'm looking at 4 Blood Debt, basically. 4 Blood Debt. I wonder if I can get there. I'm at 3 right now, you know? That's going to be such a massive punt if I don't get there, right? But there's no way I'm flipping to Consumed this game. That's just not possible. I'm going to get whittled down by unblockable damage. So we figure my graveyard has no Blood Debt, though. I'm looking at a short game here. I don't think I can get to 6, realistically. I can get to 4. by next turn, like every time, but without any blood debt in the graveyard, I can't get to 6 within the next like 3 turns, most likely. We'll pass on that. They changed the ruling a while back. You believe it was the same rules update as the Find Center ruling, so you can no longer force Husk on Needle and keep Needle. Good riddance. Get that out of here. I need my percentage points into Benji, you know? Hellhammer Levia. She needs all the help she can get. The deck's so bad. No, it's not. It's going very well. Very well. Discard on the pulping, still a bit awkward though. You figure the turn would have been, right, like I discard the pulping, or discard the Graveling. I've got the pulping here instead. I just, every day, slam the, Mark of the Beast into pulping, into, Hellhammer, right? I don't think I'd have the resource. No, I would have the resource, yeah. The swing big. We can pull through though. It's the point of hooves. Smoothie over. They're at 10. We'll try to get another big turn here. With a full non-block hand, we are staring at a Benji. We can't block anyway. Alright, dope. We're in. We're in. I don't know if this hand I can really do enough with to want to give up the flesh bag right now. The issue being, right, you figure this hits. They attack me with the next thing. The next thing is going to be +1 from Benji. I would be able to block it from hand, but I can't. But I cannot. So then it's up to blocking the third attack. I think I can always block the third attack with Scowling, but if that's the case, like, why don't I just use Scowling right now, right? Alright, we're just going to do it. If I'm stopping Mass this turn, I would have to Scowling, either now or later. Might as well do it now, because it throws one of the card in the Banish Zone. And that ends the turn. Okay. Alright, let's do something magical with this hand. Let's do something magical. Obviously, you have to kickstart with the Art of War. Say go again, banish. Nice, nice. We've got a pretty clean Graveling into Art of War, into Boneyard, into Hellhammer coming. That's pretty decent. Yeah, that looks great. That should look great, I think. All we need to do is draw yellow to swing the Hellhammer after. Oh no, it needs to be a blue. It needs to be a yellow plus red. Yeah. Because the Art of War is going to take this resource. This isn't the Boneyard resource. So when I Art of War here, I have to say banish. Go again, obviously. Drawing double red means all I do is Boneyard into Arsenal. Yellow red means I can Boneyard into Hellhammer. Blue is perfect because it's Hellhammer plus Boneyard. So I actually wonder, is there a world where I instead just do Art of War for +1 go again and just don't risk it? I think that's fine. Hold up. Let's go back to... I think I can just say +1 go again here and just not risk anything. Buff go again. Seems fine. Yeah, let's just not risk the double red draw. The only ceiling there is drawing a blue. Then we get to reset Arsenal. Is the, like, higher ceiling, but let's just not risk it, right? Let's just not risk it. It doesn't double the go again. The Art of War doesn't check on what's already played, right? It says the next thing. When you say go again, at least. When you say go again. Alright. Pretty good turn. See, this is where if we just drew a Writhing, we win, right? That's what I'm kind of missing of the guarantee of, oh, I can just draw Writhing. I will just win now. Same thing with like Convulsions over Blood Dripping Frenzy, right? I actually think that's a pretty easy swap. I would probably do that every day. Swap this to Convulsions, because it's just drawing up a hand in this situation that says I win the game. And like, why wouldn't you want that, right? Why wouldn't you want that? Like, when you have this momentum and you pushed him low, just win the game. Just win the game. Oh, I can't block that anyway. Oh, cool. I get value here. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay, well, now I can block this. I think I can ignore it, though, right? Let me just double check. If I just go Dread Screamer into Endless Maw, I just win the game, right? Unless they draw a Flick Flack here. I can't miss in the graveyard. Okay, okay. So I think I just take this. I'm supposed to take this every time. Because I should just win. I have 15 damage next hand. Can't miss. They would have to draw Flick Flack and put it in Arsenal right now. Yep. It's fine. Give it to him. Give it to him. Vasilis will immediately tell you Convulsions sucks. Well, he's just straight wrong on that. Convulsions is a fantastic card. Like, would I rather draw Convulsions or a Blood Dripping Frenzy on this hand? Convulsions every time. Blood Dripping Frenzy has done nothing. I don't think it, like, truly, it's really not that playable either in this deck. There's a lot of non-blooded attacks, right? Like, a lot. There's the whole Pulping Core, the Swing Big, the Wild Rides, the Beast Withins, like the Wreckers. Those 6s don't draw you cards. It is not good enough. Alright. 6-1, just rolled over the Benji. Good game. Wow, deck is nutso. I do want to make those changes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I need Dominate in the deck. I need it. I don't think we'll go for the Writhings. I don't want to mess with the cost curve. It's felt already a little tight on reds sometimes. But that's just nature of, like, drawing hands. The yellow bails you, because at least everything should cost 2 other than the Endless Maw. I also want the 1 Reckless. And I could see this being a sideboard card. But we'll keep it in. We'll keep it in. Yeah, actually, I think I would do this instead. Leave the Doomsday in the sideboard. Run this pretty much every time. I like the feel of that, I think. So then we need to make room on the Doomsday. Obviously the Claw Arcane, this is part of the Wizard package, so we're looking at, we can't touch this slot, can't touch this slot. Against Kano, the idea would be, you've got, I guess, AB1. Well, he's bringing in AB2, so that would swap there, I guess. You can probably get rid of this then. You've already got the AB1 headpiece. AB1, 2, and then Spell Void 4. There's no way you need the AB3 plus Spell Void 4. There's no way. I think I'd be happier with this. Sacrificing your blue on AB means your turn should punt. The yellows are like more the flex slot that you can block down with because you didn't really need them as resource. You didn't really need them as playables. Sure. Sure. The Endless Maw could also go to... I know this is kind of spicy. But if you really want to beat the fatigue decks, I've been trying Last Ditch Effort. And it's so good. Like, Levia already slams fatigue decks so hard that you can just, you know, flip, redeem, consume, whatever you want to not die to Blood Debt. And then you've got this really, really strong late game of just closing with Last Ditch Effort. Like into the Yojis, right? Because this deck without the claws should, in theory, struggle to assemble the second large turn. It's got one large turn with like the Hellhammer play, right? It's got one large turn with like the Blood Rush, Dread Screamer play. But Yoji is fantastic at letting those go over the top of 12 and then just using, you know, whenever you don't present 12 to heal back up. So there are definitely those turns with the deck. So I feel like 2 big turns is definitely, I mean, that's just not enough to beat Yoji. But we're not going to touch it too much. I really want the Convulsions, and we'll just move this to sideboard. It was never playable. And we'll call it good. Call it good for now. Oh, we actually got a Kano right here. Let's do it. Kano right here, right now. And of course, I'm going to regret the Skullhorn change, aren't I? Alright, we got this. Still Spoiled Skull, though. I don't want to sack an entire slot on the Spoiled Skull. Or rather, the AB2 piece. Spoiled Skull already has AB1, and it's so good into Wizard. Can't take Hellhammer. We'll do this over... Actually, do I even put this in, like, over a yellow? Maybe I don't want Deeper Evil, you know? I could see doing that. Just go up 1 blue. Deeper Evil is so expensive in a Wizard. Sure, let's ship it. I'm in. Give this a go. And we draw the all blue hand. Alright, so previously this would have been a Blood Dripping Frenzy. Would be the difference. So we'd be, in theory, playing out Blood Dripping Frenzy to draw 2, give +0, fill the graveyard for 1, leave 1 floating. That's just also terrible. Crazy. Oh, okay. I always got to check the opponent as well. They're rocking the good card, and then the questionable cards. Alright, I see you. Tentacles should count as limbs. The heck you talking about, Sammy? Hey everyone, what's up? Alright. You just joined, I see. What's up, man? What's up? Really depends on the Levi build. Aggro is more likely... Oh wait, is there another conversation I missed? When going first as Levi, is it always correct to just Arsenal pass, hoping they won't have a turn 1 play? When going first as Levi, you need 1 card in graveyard. The math on that is, if you play 1 card and get it into graveyard, right? Then you are now leaving yourself open to blocking with 2 cards on your opponent's first turn, and being able to play a Banisher, if you need to. You don't necessarily want to do that, but you need to get there. You need to get at least 1 card in graveyard so you have that math open to you. I really think I block with all this. That's crazy. But we're like holding a blue for next turn. I'm never going to see these in a pitch stack anyway. I'm in. They're all so unplayable anyway. So you want to do whatever you can to get 1 card in graveyard going first as a Leviathan so that you're open to having 3 in graveyard on your next turn. It's the entire deal. Okay, so unfortunately the Dread Screamer cannot gain Go again. It would just give me 3 blood debt. Oh, that's so bad. Dread Screamer would just say 3 blood debt, pass. Oh my god. Alright, so we got to fill the graveyard somewhere with 6s. It's unfortunate. I wanted the... I mean, if I draw a Pulping or a Wild Ride on that hand, you know, so much better. Even a Swing Big. Oh. But it is an odd Kano deck, so maybe we've got a shot. We've got a shot just because there are attacks in the deck. We're good. I meant if you're not the Levi player and they make me go first. Oh, yeah. Do not attack the Levi. If you attack the Levi and you went first, you're giving the Levi not only hand filter to get closer to Blood Rush, you're also giving them graveyard fill. So if you're playing into Levi, do not attack. Unless you can go significantly over 12, you're likely to leak probably like 5 or so damage because Levi will be caught on a non-block generally. Like 3 block cards, 1 non-block card, something like that. Damn, dude, I don't want to just take 8. What is this? What is this? I think I'm just going to get the block value here. Make my turn Wild Ride into, like, at least Claw, I guess. My god, just like that, we're even. Oh! What? No, the quasi-blood dripping frenzies are betraying me. What is this? This would have been a crap draw no matter what these cards were. Holy moly. They're robbing me of my plays. Pretty significant difference, too. I mean, clumping them like this means my blues are just going to be so gone. I even added an extra blue. And they're just gone. They're just gone. You need to do like 12 plus damage and have an arsenal to attacker or have like a nourishing. Yep. It's those two things. Like, can you get a dominate through? Then sure, do it. Because the Levia can only fill with one card. And so you don't actually let her cycle that much. So that's a check. Or if you can go above 12, then they likely are taking, like I said, about 5 damage. Because one card's going to non-block, generally. And if you can do that and really take their whole hand, well, hey, they might have had a Blood Rush that they didn't want to block with, right? And then, like, that's just gone. All right, this hand, I'm, like, literally losing the game on draw sequence. This is unreal. This is unreal. We even brought the extra blues. I can't do it. I can't do it. Holy crap, just go to 10? That seems like a wonderful play. I love the idea of going to 10. It seems so correct. Oy, oy, oy. Alright, see, this is why AB3 doesn't matter. If you just don't draw your blues into Wizard the way you're supposed to, you just die. Who cares about AB3? Who cares? Come on. Give me some room. Luckily, you would think their kill turn can't be too consistent because they have attack actions, but at the same time, Ragamuffins will guarantee to some regard, like, if they're only going for the one flip. So that's pretty terrifying. Like, if their combo is literally just Aether Flare... Or no, it would be Emeritus, right? It can't be Wildfire. But even so, like, Emeritus into Waning Moon into, like, the Ragamuffin swap on Blazing. That's all they're really looking for. They don't need to dig too hard on Kano, especially if I'm doing nothing with my turns. Not bad. If you had to replace Swing Big, what card would you choose? Definitely another early game playable. Smash Instinct Red is fine, but it's definitely not the same card. One less damage, one more resource. Pretty nuts. But you'd want an early game playable that also blocks. Like, the modality of Swing Big is so strong because it doesn't turn off Blood Debt later in the game. So you need to be able to do something else with it, right? Like, generally, you play it early, you block with it mid-game, and then now there's even a new line where you can use it to be your flip turn, where you can present Swing Big and then flip into Consumed, which is so strong. You never used to be able to do that. All right, once again, we are drawing no blues because we clumped them all early. I mean, we literally saw, what was it, 5 blues total to start the game. So this is fun. I appreciate this deck. Appreciate this a lot. Alright, I believe. Draw me a blue here. Draw me a blue. I'll be happy. Happy forever. Blue means I would present Mandible with one floating. I mean, what would I really care, honestly? Okay, well, there's another blue, but it got milled. Well, that's fantastic. That's a blue we won't draw next hand. Love it. Oh my god. What can you do? What can you do? Maybe the trick is just run sigils, right? Who cares about seeing blues? Just gain life. My god. I don't know if this draw sequence would beat literally any deck we've faced yet. This is insane. Insane. The deck just cursed me. I didn't even change the ratios. These just, one of these used to be a Blood Dripping Frenzy, and the deck was like, nope, never mind. We're gonna stop functioning. It had to be Blood Dripping. All you had to do was rep the new cards. You don't have to play the new cards, but if you rep the new cards, the deck works. Shane's right. Alright, there we go. Trusty blue. Trusty blue. We needed you. Oh. This is still such an anemic hand for presenting damage and trying to survive. We're at 4, baby. We're living. We're living. I believe. I believe. All right, now they don't know what's happening. All right, look at two questionable cards in hand. We got Spell Void 4 up. Oh. Okay, they let this happen. This is correct. They should do this every time. Well, I was hoping they would commit a card to a block, but it makes sense. They shouldn't do that. Now, if I show the Endless Maw, then my Cloak of Darkness is going to eat 4 of the Red Emeritus's 6. I'll take 2. I just die to the Waning Moon regardless, so that feels fantastic. That feels fantastic. I think my best play is just show Graveling, pretend I have another blue. If I pass, it's obvious that I'm way too terrified of their hand, and they just get another free turn of whamming me with the 2 for 6s. Oh, yikes. If a red hand was like 1%, and I got all the blue hands, what's the chance? Well, we can take a look, actually. Let's see. It's all 1%, although it is lower than these 1%ers. Because the ratio is very close, like 14, 13, 13, but it is lower, to be fair. What we're straight missing is like these hands. Where's the 30%ers? Like, where's the balanced hands? Come on, the math is there. And it just didn't happen. My opponent undid. That's fine, yeah. Kill me. Put me out of my misery. I'm very willing to take this loss. Very willing. This is the problem with Wizard. You know, how is it fair and balanced gameplay if it is more so up to just what you draw? I mean, the Kano did everything right, but I'm just not allowed agency because I didn't draw blues, and the blues are there. Oh well. Or rather, didn't draw blues outside of turn 0. They were all in my turn 0 hand. This is kind of the problem Icelander presents as well, where it's not just needing blues to survive, it's needing blues to play through Frostbites. At the same time, Icelander doesn't get taxed when she's doing her hands. It's why she's so strong in CC. You know, she gets to stay on rate while she's pushing your opponent, needing to basically, first of all, include in more blues if they want play around the Frostbites and play around the arcane damage, right? Which then can clump up when the Icelander doesn't actually demand blues out of your opponent. Well, now the extra blues slow down your otherwise like well-crafted hands, and you just don't get to really like play the on-rate game that you were hoping for when you signed up. Icelander's a strong deck, man. Strong deck. Yes, yes. I assume they're calculating even beyond if I have a blue here. But if I had a blue here and I won, that'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Because they're going all out here. And this is lethal, even through the Iron Rot. So if it was a blue, sick. Would I live? It would be Emeritus plus... Yeah. You'd figure it'd be Emeritus plus Waning plus Aether. I think I was dead anyway if that was the play. Because I'd be able to block the full 6 here. I'd be able to block 1 on the Waning Moon. Oh, and then Blazing would only be 2 damage. Okay, so actually if I had a blue, I survived this. But I do not. I do not. If I had exactly a blue, I never die. But now I die even just a Waning Moon. Oh, yeah, duh. It doesn't even have to be the Blazing Aether. It could be something like this. Yep. GG's, opponent. GG's. If that's the case, a blue still saved me, though. A blue was still... Wow, I'm surprised they went for that. I'm surprised that... Stream stop? I don't know. If I have a blue, though, then I don't take any damage on the Emeritus. I leave 1 floating. They hit me with the Chain Lightning. I live at 1. Right? So they just put me on having a blue. They lose? That's crazy. I thought Kanos don't go for those plays. But it worked. It worked from the opponent. Oh well. Let's do it again. I hope this is the same opponent. I'm down. I'm down. So they went first last time, and they were this heavy attack action deck, which was kind of interesting. Let's try first ourselves. Good luck, have fun. I'm down to do this again, brother. Let's get an even draw going, shall we? I'll take an even draw. Let's do it. Kanos also don't usually run Iron Wrought Plate and Ironhide Gauntlets. Yeah, that was also a little funky, wasn't it? Can't judge, man. Maybe this list won a skirmish. Who's tracking all the skirmish wins, you know? If you saw Hellhammer Levia and I didn't tell you it won a skirmish, you'd probably say that's a shit deck. So how works the hammer? It seems very good. In Blitz, you're looking for like a turn 3, turn 4 game, and hammer really unlocks that play pattern. Seemed pretty strong in that regard. Riddler Man, thank you for all you do for the community as a whole, Ethan. Dude, super appreciate. Super appreciate. Riddler Man, you're a great dude too. Like, truly. I was reminded of you yesterday. I was watching...
Thanks for all you do for the community as a whole, Ethan.
Thank you. I was watching another interview with Saint that Acker Kagger did. Acker Gacker? I forget his YouTube name, but his name on Discord is Acker Gacker. And he did an interview with Saint, and it reminded me of your interview with Saint, which I really enjoyed. There you go. Alright. They've got enough 2 blocks that I think we can get away with chipping damage potentially, and we're presenting the 12. So if anything, this takes their full hand and they don't cheat damage, which is cool. Gets the graveyard not in a great state, you know? It's a miss and a miss, but it's something. Didn't a skirmish have a Cavdine Mirror in the finals? Yes, that was a bit of a meme though. It was an oops, the entire skirmish is merchants. Everyone agreed on the down low that they were going to just play nothing but merchants at this skirmish. So yes, it was a Cavdine Mirror, which was hilarious. Okay, now that they block this way, I think I'm just going to Arsenal the Mark of the Beast then. We'll just go Claw. Because if they had a 2 block, it's likely they sunk out of it with the sink. So I don't think I'm leaking any damage. I'll get the Arsenal instead. And this still saves me from turn 0 damage, in theory. Alright, alright, balanced hands, balanced hands. Give me this all day. I'll take it. Actually, you know what? Into this attack action Kano, maybe I don't want to give them tempo here. Yeah, because look at this. Now they get to just attack me. And I really am under threat now. Oh, that's probably always wrong. Them going first is better for me. Because when they go second, they actually go above rate with these attacks. That's interesting. And I didn't run Husk, and yet we just played into this guy. What is wrong with me? Okay, either way, though, we're never blocking this. Not with cards from hand. No, sir. Hand is too live. Alright, watch Wild Ride miss. It's gonna happen. I'm preparing myself mentally. Alright, it missed. Jesus Christ. We just can't get a win with this deck into Kano, it seems. Deck just won't have it. It's mad. The deck is straight mad about adding convulsions. Damn, Levia is so temperamental. So temperamental. Whew. This one's a little hard to stomach, not gonna lie. A little hard to stomach. Whoo! Lord. Lord Almighty. At least it's not like we took Blood Debt. It's not worst case, but good God, it's awful. Good God, it's... Okay, never mind. We have another hand. We're just taking this damage. I'm taking it. We're in. This hand can't miss, you know? This hand can't miss. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was just such a nightmare draw. Imagine it hits the Mark of the Beast, you know? Even the Beast Within, man. Get to keep a blue in hand. I can easily go Claw, Mark the Beast, Arsenal the other one. Just would have been such a good turn. Would have just been such a good turn. Not the case. This game is so over. Can't even double claw slap him here. It's gotta be, mark the beast, hooves into beast within. It's that kind of game. Actually, that's not true. I can play the Deadwood. Is there any difference? Yeah, I guess I get one floating if I play the beast within over the Deadwood. Alright, we're in. Although, funny enough, if I close the chain here, get the action point with hooves, I could then Spoiled Skull, try to select my own mark. That way I get an arsenal, but good god, do I want either of these an arsenal? Hell no, I don't. Oh wait, oops. It's not going to let me do it that way. I have to do manual. Kano has taken -1 damage. Why you gotta rub it in, dude? We're having a rough time as is. Oh my god. Such misery. Such misery. No, what are you talking about? I have the manual control on. Alright, even Talishar doesn't want me to win this game. I have the manual control on. It's supposed to work. I do this all the time. Manual control. This resolves. I close the chain. It's skipping the chain close. Okay, let me click. There it goes. There it goes. Thank you, game. Thank you, game. Uh-huh. Alright, I'm in. Not even presenting lethal. Not even. Oh, especially not through Iron Rot Plate. Good god. Getting hosed. I think the deck's met its match. Attack action Kano is just not a winnable matchup, apparently. It was stomping real decks left and right. Attack action Kano just can't do it. Although now he's open to dying to Reckless Swing. Okay. Alright, is there not an argument for Reckless Swing if somehow it would even beat an attack action wizard? Come on. Come on. Or even, what did I say about the writhings, right? Even I just draw a writhing here. I win. Oh. They drops an E-Pot. E-Pot. Okay. We got another Blood Rush. We're in. We're in. I think we can win this. I don't think it's an unreasonable ask to think we can win. Alright, even discarded the red. Cool. Cloaks up. Grasp up. Just takes a little clenching now. Okay. Yes. Come on. Look, who needs AB3? All we can do is AB2 anyway. We're good. AB2. That's all we had. Let me check. How did the video go? I don't think Yanji's awake yet, so I don't know. Alright, here it is. 2 Kano resolutions and Storm Striders. So 1 random, 1 guaranteed, and then obviously the probably Red Emeritus in Arsenal. Let's see it. Let's see it. I'm not doing the math. We're just going to let it happen. Obviously block as much as we can so that blazing doesn't blow us out. So it'd be cool to see if it's actually like a Sonic Boom or something somewhere in this. Because then maybe it's worth saving it in that spot over the Emeritus. Probably not. The good news is, though, they just die to a Claw. So even if we double draw reds on the Blood Rush, they will just die to the Claw. So I can use this on AB freely. Freely. Wow, if I actually win this game, I don't think it was anything I did. The opponent is just a little too scared of this Blood Rush. I don't think they should be at all. I can only go 2 wide. Like, I don't have hooves. It can't be even as good as last turn. My turn would be 5 and then 8. And that's only if I draw it. So at that point, he's live to... Oh, actually, no. So he's at 2. So actually, he in theory does need to go for it here, because he can't just block with 1 card on the claw and then wait to see my second attack. The first claw in and of itself is lethal. That takes 2 cards otherwise. So I guess he did have to do it this way. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Yeah, if he could block with just 1 card on the claw, then I think he should play it different. But he can't, actually, in this scenario. So he's going for the Waning Moon first. Okay. So I'll just AB2 that. He had the 0 block with the E-Pot as well. Oh, yeah, that's true. Alright, so we're just going to do this. Or is there any difference in just sacking one of the cloaks and this right now? I don't think there is. So I'm going to turn on 1. Use 1 piece here. Should be no difference. Just block the 3. All of it counts towards Blazing Aether anyway, and there's no wildfire. So you're just using this as HP. It's a lesson now. Okay, this is fine. This is kind of what we were looking to block. Sonic Boom lesson, something with an on-hit, right? Blazing Aether in response to the other 2 Kano triggers? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Well, we're just letting him do his thing. So, yep, now we can AB1, block with Grasp. That's it. E-Pot. There's one more play here. Yeah, you gotta let that resolve. So right now the Blazing is dealing 0, and we still have AB2. So if it's a Red Emeritus, he can't pay for it. So it would just be a 1 cost, which at max would deal 4. I would AB2, take 2, Blazing deals 2. So I just live. I just live. We did it! We did it! I think I was safe even on the red draw here. If I discarded the Graveling, kept the Boneyard. Yeah, but he actually did have to do it. This is fair. He absolutely did have to go for it because the Claw was presenting lethal, so no fault in the opponent. He was supposed to go for it. He was supposed to go for it. Because he'd have to choose... Kano shows the top of your deck is Wounded Bull. What? Wait, where did the Blazing Aether go? Am I crazy? It resolved already? Well, I thought he like showed it and then undid or something and it was part of Ragamuffins. I'm not sure what happened there. I figured it was somewhere still. Whoa. Alright, well, thank God he dies just a claw because this is an unplayable hand. I had a yellow in hand still. 2. Could you get over that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 block effectively. Pre-BRB. I'm not doing the math here. Oh, actually, you know what? I could Spoiled Skull anyway for Mark the Beast. Or Wrecker Romp. Ha! I could even play Wrecker Romp on this hand. Yeah, I possibly could have, but I was not going in blind. But I was going in blind, so maybe not. Okay, I mean, I still think he's betting on like one of the lessons or like a Sonic Boom hitting, which we could block with the cloaks pretty easily. So I don't know. I'm not a Kano player, but I think it'd have to be like some insane luck, which is always possible. That's within a Kano's wheelhouse, you know. Tome, tome, tome. 6 blues out of nowhere. All right, we got it though. We got it though. Deck didn't cooperate, but it's okay. Turns out these pieces of equipment are pretty darn good. Pretty darn good, aren't they? Holy moly. I mean, I literally used to run Spell Void pieces into this matchup because, first of all, it is doomed. But second of all, it was graveyard fill. You know, you could block an early on hit, send the Spell Void to grave. I don't think you need that now. Like, Jesus, like the block 2 on this across the 2 slots is wild. Spell Void 4 effectively with an incredible AB piece. Spoiled Skull. Whew. Alright. We did it. That was, I mean, still, against any other deck, I think that draw loses. It had to be Kano. It had to be Kano. He responded the triggers casting the Aether, then responded it with the Waning Moon, and you blocked it all, so he did 0. Potentially for it, but even if he played the chain correctly, the Blazing still didn't get there. Yeah, I think no matter what, right? All the denial I had on the Cloaks and the Grasp, considering there was still 2 floating and a yellow in hand, I had effectively block 8, and I could block 4 on singleton sources of damage. So the tallest he could get a spell over the top to trigger Blazing would be a Red Emeritus, which would only deal 2, making the Blazing deal 2. So I don't think I ever die there, in theory. Okay, Ethan, I've got to go. Remember to let me know if you're available for the hotel. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll hit up my other guy today and then let you know. Thanks for the stream. I'll see you, Emery. Peace. Into Bravo, you know. If they play more fatiguey, Spoiled Skull could be relevant. But if they don't, then Scowling is incredible. I think we'll hedge. We'll go there. I could also hedge a bit and add Doomsday over one of the Endlesses. We're going to do this. We're going to hedge. Tiniest bit. Also, option for you all. Let me know in the chat here. Talishar has a new feature where they can add custom hero art for Patreon stuff. Let me open this. So in theory, I could add this as a Patreon reward. We'll look at that in a second. All right, they're letting me graveyard fill, but, you know, they're not spending any resources from their deck, so that's pretty scary. The fact that they could knock me down. The Hungering is definitely filler. Blocking with the Mark is a bit odd. It's going to ramp up the Blood Debt, and I can't do anything about it. At minimum, I could turn it off with the next Mark, so I think I'll just do this. Save the HP. So, like Flake, for example, put this together. Borvo Showstomper. With, like, special art for Bravo, right? So in Talishar, you can actually get it to load like this if you're a patron. I've got, you know, the custom Levia art as well from the t-shirts. Images. I've got, like, these art pieces, right, for, like, adult Levia, young Levia. So I could add those in theory, but let me know if you'd actually want that. I think, personally, I don't know if I'd use it. I like the original Levia art, but, I mean, it's a perk, so if you want it, you want it, right? Okay. We swing Mark the Beast, we Arsenal Art of War, we move on with our lives. Seems pretty okay. Holding the Art of War for like a Slithering Shadowpede should be pretty high value in this matchup. We should have time for it. Kind of depends. I think generally I'm not planning on flipping to Consumed. If I've got Dread Screamers banished and I've got a Blood Rush in Arsenal, then I think I should go for it. But that's a lot of conditionals, right? I need to find the Dread Screamers, need to play them out, need to banish them, need to find a Blood Rush, need to park it in Arsenal, all while not dying. But then that would make a Consume flip pretty high value. We found a Diabolic, a decent card, I guess. We can just block with these, return Endless Maw though, most likely, although they're dominating, so never mind. It's a Spinal. Okay, well, that's a bit rough because I would like to get 2 cards in graveyard for the Endless Maw to really play around the Spinal here. I could also have Art of Ward defensively for the Diabolic. But then I'm wasting an Art of War. I don't think I can feasibly get away with that, honestly. I don't think I can get away with that. The problem, though, is I lose go again, so I can't even, like, practically fill the graveyard with the Goliath. I might just have to give up this Scowling. Very strange. If I give up the Scowling, then I get to save the Goliath. I get the graveyard fill, so I can at least Endless Maw. Oh, that feels so weak. So weak. Can't make a play otherwise, though, realistically. I mean, I could waste Art of War basically saying +1. I don't think that gets me there in this matchup, though. Let's just do this. Oh, wait, actually, that's still crushed. Oh, no, I don't mind the crush, though. I don't mind the crushed. I'm just trying to get the graveyard. Yeah, that's true. All right, here we go. I don't want to overpitch the Graveling. It's fine with the Art of War. Let's do this. Okay, that's another Spinal gone. So we need to save this Husk, hopefully for a Crippling Crush, and we'll be fine in the matchup. A CNC. Okay, well, using Husk on CNC also doesn't feel terrible. But I don't think we need to, right? Because this hand blocks 6. I still get the Art of War slithering off. Yeah, we'll just do this. Oh, I can turn off full control. Go again, banish. Good combo. Not a great follow-up, but it is playable at least. Throw 12 off of 3. Not bad. Throw 12 off of 3. There's such a ceiling on Slithering, it's unreal. You banish Slithering with a blue start, draw into a 1 cost. You just slam Slithering, the 1 cost, get a new arsenal out of it. It's insane. An insane ceiling. Okay, we're back to a healthy graveyard, so we don't really have to worry about that for the remainder of the game, most likely. We still haven't seen any of the draw discard part of the deck. Weak hand here, weak hand, but it's at least a 2-card 7, and we can arsenal the Hungering. Yep, I don't want to only block 1, it risks losing Husk too early, so we'll just do this. Oh, actually, hold up. Just do this. What am I saying? We're playing the Endless, not the Hungering. Cool. That leaves us at 2 misses in the yard as well for next turn, which is pretty lucky, because if we didn't hit the Art of War, bit of a risk in that. I see. So blue Endless Maw, like, this card's actually really good for Blitz. A 2-card 7 on a blue, a very flexible card. I have more trouble playing it in CC, and I honestly couldn't tell you why. It's fine for CC as well, it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't make it. It doesn't make it in my list. But it's a fine card. It's totally okay. Okay, they give me armor, and yet I have Husk. I love this. This is a great trade. This means they want to play the hand aggressively. But we have armor. Alright, so they're basically looking at a pummel hand. I don't really care about the pummel hand because I'm always giving Carrion Husk here. They're going to pummel, I'm going to discard Deep Rooted. I still get a 3-card 12. This is totally fine. Yep, I mean, super telegraphed, obviously. This is not a relevant effect either. We're also safe from Crippling Crush because of Hellhammer alone, which is a really cool part of the deck now. If they take all this damage for Crippling Crush, then, okay, like, I can just hopefully say no blocks, return Hellhammer, turn off Blood Debt. I don't know about no blocks. There's still hands that don't function with that, right? Like, a lot of the red non-blocks would mess it up, which is a bit scary. I mean, that's still a no-block scenario. If there's a bunch of them, then I can just say no blocks. I go to 1, I return Hellhammer, pitching double red, non-block. That's okay. Whew. Does that win the game, though? Maybe I should have Goliath right now, then. Ooh, man, I think I missed... Oh, no, I can't Goliath anyway because of Choke Slam. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Huh. So then maybe I play the turn differently. I block over with the hooves. That way I can get the Goliath off on this turn. In theory, that presents lethal, which takes away their equipment. Because when my return is just Hellhammer, I need them to give me 2 cards, or I just die to a dominate, like a random dominate. Oh, I think that was a misplay then. Oh, we'll call that wrong. In the way the math works out. I think. Well, actually, no. It's the same, because if they give equipment here to go to 4, or even if they don't, right? It's all the same. The Hellhammer does take 2 cards. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. They block with 1 and the 2 equipment. Ah, okay. Yeah. So, it did matter. It did matter. Alright, there's that. So, we just say no blocks. We're going to return with the Hellhammer. Obviously, we hope we don't keep these. We want to keep one of them plus another card. But yeah, this is pretty scary all of a sudden. Pretty scary all of a sudden. I needed to break Goliath last turn. Well, maybe there's a world where I keep like the Dread in one of these, and then I just Goliath now. That could work. We'll see. Oh my god, worst case discards. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, worst case discards. Yeah, now I can die to a random dominate on any like blue 4 cost. Ugh, I needed to Goliath. Well, this was also worst case discard, so it's like a little flexible. But yeah, I should be dead here. Like every time. Just a random dominate does it. Oh. Or just that. That also does it. Alright, that's my bad though. This is a genuine misplay game. Heavy misplay game. Heavy misplay. Should have blocked with the hooves and then Goliathed on the turn before the Hellhammer, so that I take another card. And then I can stabilize in theory. Oh. Throws. That's okay. We like losses like that because you learn a lot. Good game. Yep, so that matchup's actually a bit different in how you want to use Goliath then. It's less about going over for the kill and more so making sure that they don't keep a 3-card hand. Makes sense. Alright. Going to 2 against Levia, bold choice. That's what I'm saying, Chane. Like, this deck doesn't have Reckless Swing. I feel like that's gotta be a throw. You know, in Blitz, people go to 2. They just go to 2. They do. They just do it. They're greedy. Alright, maybe we change the deck again. We're going back. I can't not run Reckless Swing. People are too greedy. Alright, remove. Goodbye, Endless Mo. You're a good card. But we're putting the Recklesses back in. And then Deep Rooted has done, like, absolutely nothing. In a way, it's supposed to be a third Slithering. Like, kind of. But I almost think I would prefer this to be the, like a Ghostly Visit. If you want like a quasi-third Slithering, then Ghostly Visit is a bit better. Because you can at least block to get it in Arsenal. The Deep-Rooted Evil like only works with the Art of War. Otherwise you're hoping to just discard it on these. And that's about it. And then poor Doomsday is a sideboard card. I mean, it seems okay. Yeah, against those matchups, it's an easy swap. Just take out the Ghostly for the Doomsday. Alright, we're in. Deck continues to evolve. For the better? Probably not. I'm telling you, dude, like, everyone goes into Reckless range. Everyone. They can't help it. And Reckless is just so much better now with Consumed and Redeemed, because there's more endgame states where you just don't take Blood Debt and you can wait for Reckless. Alright, we're into the Dromai again. We want the Spoiled Skull again. Dromai, kind of a toss-up between Ghostly and Doomsday. We're going to try the Ghostly just because I want more practice with it, but Doomsday probably is fine in this matchup. Alright, we actually did get a playable hand, so going second would have been probably fine. But this is also decent for a 5-card play with Pulping next turn. Alright, they go ahead as Seekers. Now that they're committed, I could just Pulping right now. Right here, right now. Get the Dominate through. Alright, I'm in. It would only deal 2 damage. They could also Silken Form, though. Yeah, so they committed to Seekers, so it's not like I'm giving them the Silken window. They already broke it. Nah, I don't want to do this. We'll go Arsenal Pulping. Alright, decent Pulping hand, do you figure? Strange to see now Crown on Levia. The new head is pretty awesome. Yeah, but the way that the Spoiled Skull works in this deck is just smooths over what happens post Hellhammer, realistically. It's kind of the whole point. Alright, they have a Miragai Chromai turn, so we're just going Pulping into Miragai. That's about it. Pulping into Miragai. No matter if it misses, it will gain the go again, which we appreciate. And a passing. Alright, no claws is going to be a little tough to stomach. Although Hellhammer won't break if we throw it into passing, which is interesting. So in theory, this hand can still go Wild Ride at face and then Hellhammer the passing and it doesn't break. It shouldn't break. Come on, Talishar. It shouldn't break. Okay, no go again anyway. That's fine. We can Arsenal the Dread. Not a big deal. So in theory, this is where Ghostly Visit could actually come up big as well. Like, it can just be the throwaway go again attack, so that we don't have to waste 6 damage into a passing somewhere. And they're going for Quell for the Ash. Okay, makes sense. Mainboarding Flicker Trick. Alright, so they've got dead draws in the deck. It's possible. And they're cracking Silken Form. Okay. Okay, yes, you can undo that. Alright, decent hand. Decent hand here. If I want a little bit more protection into a singular source of arcane damage, I should block with the hooves right now. So we can go ahead and do that. They drop a Time Snap as well. Okay. They're really slowing down. Alright, so this hand can be Dread Screamer into Endless Maw. It could be, it could be. It could also be Dread Screamer into Boneyard, pop hooves. It'd be popping hooves just to Hellhammer break the passing. Oof. It would also take me sacking the Goliath as well, wouldn't it? No, because I would sack the hooves first, so it would be Dread, pitch here, banishes 3, 1 card in grave, I crack hooves, that goes to grave. Dread Screamer goes to grave, that's 3 again. I can then Boneyard and then pitch Hellhammer into, or pitch Mark into Hellhammer. So I don't need to break Goliath for that play. If I break Goliath, then I can instead just make the turn Dread Screamer into Endless Maw, Arsenal the Boneyard. No, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Hellhammer should not break into Spectra. On Talishar, I don't know if they've got it working, but it should not break into Spectra. Endless Maw and Arsenal is actually really strong as well for how you want to play into a Chromai. You want to block with 2, right? Kind of get rid of their poppers, or get rid of their action points. So it's going to take you 2 poppers, and that means you're down 2 cards, which leaves you with 2 cards. In theory, then you can play out Endless Maw, Arsenal, new card. So it's a pretty good pattern if you assume you're playing into a Chromai turn. They're also eating this damage. Maybe there's a world I just throw Hellhammer face, actually. I don't think I want to, but it's possible. Alright, they didn't like something about their hand. Cool. Nice, nice. It didn't break. Good. Thank you, Talishar. The unfortunate part about this hand, though, is we're missing the blue to make the Endless Maw play reset our arsenal. That should be okay, though, because all we're really looking to do is pop, which we did find. Pop, pop, pitch in, Endless Maw. Actually, that's not even true. It's probably pop, pop, pitch in for Hungering, keep the Endless Maw, because we want that sucker on curve. So much stronger on curve. Let's find the blue. Find the blue. We can do it. Alright, what did I say about blocking with hooves? Da-da. See? Now we're protected. If we were at 14, then Carrion Husk breaks on this first Arcane Ping. Well, and actually, we broke hooves anyway, so it was definitely right. Definitely right, obviously. Oh, you know what? I could have considered trying to block a little differently just to get the turn started in case we want to try to flip. So that wasn't always possible. Okay, still 1 action point. You'd figure we can Carrion Husk whatever this is, even if it's like a CNC. Any 4 attack, we're still going to husk it, obviously, but that's why actually I think this block was wrong. Probably should have gone for the flip, but there's a bit of variability to that, right? Okay, well now we're just going to block with this and Hellhammer, and their turn is going to be 2 cards inefficient. We say goodbye to Hellhammer, but we save Husk for a rainy day, and we still turn off Blood Debt. Oh, but it's turning off Blood Debt. Ah, well, maybe we don't want to. We've got 2 Dreads and a Deadwood. Two Dreads and a Deadwood. I don't know about that, actually. I don't know about that. I think we're going to be fine to win off of just not going for the flip here. We still have a whole bunch of the draw discards. 1 Wild Ride, 1 Pulping, 1 Red Dread, 1 Blue Dread, plus 2 Art of Wars, plus 2 Blood Rushes. We can get over this. I don't fear. I don't fear our ability to get over the block here. And we get amazing value out of Husk. Fantastic. Full block. Fantastic. Alright, Wild Ride. For the love of God, Wild Ride, you have whiffed every time I played you. Husk. Every time I've played Wild Ride with 2 6s in hand, it has whiffed. The good news is, if it whiffs, we can at least flip. But for the love of God, don't miss. For once in your life, Wild Ride. Oh, yes. It was even possible to miss, and it didn't. Bless you. Bless you. Now the question becomes, though, do I even want to Arsenal the Reckless Swing? Yeesh. Do I even want to Arsenal the Reckless Swing? I could use the Spoiled Skull right now. Play the turn a bit different. It would be calling Wild Ride, Pulping, Dread. Nah, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I wonder how greedy it is to Arsenal the Reckless Wing. Probably too greedy. The Goliath Gauntlet right now is guaranteed damage, so I think I do want to do that as well. It guaranteed lands because this is 9 already. Yeah. I think I will Arsenal Reckless, actually. Because we're going to push over. Oh, I probably should not do this. I should not do this. Almost ever. It's Dromai as well, so there's a chance that the only attack actions are like C and C. You know, like what if that's the case? It's stuck forever. I'm not going to do it. I would love to. I shouldn't. So in that case, this was just the wrong pitch. Well, actually, in a world... Okay, it wasn't quite a misplay. In a world, I don't want the two Recklesses next to each other in case they're live later. That is possible. But holding the Soul Harvest is more live on the next hand, in theory, as a popper, if that matters, which it shouldn't, because they don't have Ash. I forget what I've been pitching. I'm not going to Arsenal. We have all the room in the world. I'm not going to Arsenal. Oh, shit. All right. Pulping, you're failing me, brother. You're failing me big time. Do I want to flip, though? It seems so risky to flip with 6 cards. That's a little high, you know? I have enough in deck to win. I don't think I need to flip. I don't think I need to flip. Oh my god, they gave me go again. I think that was just a straight misplay from the opponent. That's alright. I misplayed too. I misplayed too. It's allowed. I'm not flipping. I'm not flipping. Maybe even Arsenal the Soul Harvest here. That's not the worst thing ever. The problem becomes if they're on full defense, then filling Graveyard is going to be tough. And Soul Harvest would be like exactly playable. You know, because you have to hit 6. You can't choose lower. So Soul Harvest would be like exactly playable, but then what? You know, how do I fill the Graveyard? It might get a little sticky. Alright, so they punted that game. That's alright. That's alright. I think we played that one pretty clean. Not bad. And we got cheesed anyway. The discard on Ghostly Visit, come on. If that just hit, it was the same thing. It would have happened here. Alright, that's 8 and 3. 8 and 3 on this list. Were the Recklesses better than the Endless Maws in that hand specifically? No, because I would always Arsenal the Endless Maw there. No question. I would always Arsenal Endless Maw. Like, just, it's not a problem card. It's a 2-card 7. So that's a difference. That is a difference. Reckless Wing was not better than Endless Maw in this matchup in particular, but it's kind of a weird matchup, right? GG's. Alright, let's get probably like one more game in. One more game in. We got a Rhinar. Okay, we can choose to go first. This is sick. Against Rhinar, my life means more than my damage into them, because I don't want to just like randomly die. Well, actually, no, that goes 2 ways. Right, I'm going first, so actually I don't know if I need Grasp. My life just matters more than almost anything else because of Intimidate, but at the same time, if I can control how many cards I make them block with, then Goliath pushes more value there. Scowling obviously also huge in this matchup. I think I'm going to take Goliath and just play it. We're going to keep trying Goliath. Okay, we could look to get a little lucky with a Pulping Dominate to kick off the game, which would be cool. It fills the graveyard by 2, even if it misses. Sure. All right, it did gain Dominate, and we can actually throw Graveling after. All right, almost best case. Actually, that is best case, isn't it? What would be better than this? Even Beast Within would be a bit funky, because I couldn't do anything with the drawn card. I'd just take damage. So this was best case. Well done, Pulping. For once in your life, the draw discards are doing something here. All right, now we're just going for the graveyard fill because this didn't fill the yard, right? So even though this lets them filter a little bit more, we want 2 cards in graveyard. I mean, 1 is like the floor. You need at least 1 to have preferred going first ever. But 2 is quite healthy. And it cycles more cards for us to draw, you know, just better hands. Because the Graveling's not always playable. Okay, not bad. Good turn 1. Good turn 1. Oh, interesting. Alright, so we can Artivore the Ghostly, but that does not turn on the Diabolic. Yikes. If I banish the Wild Ride, it turns on Diabolic, but then what am I doing with Ghostly? I guess I just block with the Ghostly if I'm going to do that. Oh, okay. I just don't get to make choices. That's fine as well. Oh, and they don't get an Arsenal. They're overpitching. Sick. Sick. We'll take it. Talishar always discards the same card you just drew. No, not all the time. Last game it discarded a Hungering Slaughter Beast, which was in hand. Relevant. Okay, so that's the card we wanted to block with. Rip. That's the other card we could have blocked with. Rip. So I guess we're just forced to play this hand. If that's the case... If that's the case, I guess I can just go ahead and block with all of this right now. Just in case I end up using Hooves on this turn. I mean, Husk just buys me life, so ways to do that as well. There's no hit effects ever. It would just be the Swing Big, but Swing Big, for that to work, would be keeping Husk in a 2-block, which we can't do already because of what's presented here. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Consider this a win. They're off Arsenal. We only took 2. Hand's not the most playable, though, you know? I can at least just banish Ghostly and say go again, and then even if the Wild Ride misses, it has go again. So that's fine, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. There's a higher ceiling for Diabolic if I do get to keep this in hand. Let's say, like, I discard a Mark the Beast, Beast Within type of deal, so we can get rid of the Dread Screamer. Say go again, banish. Things could also change on the draw here. So actually now I can turn the Diabolic on. I can play the Hungering Slaughter Beast, it'll gain go again, and then I play the Wild Ride. The Wild Ride then sees Diabolic as a 6 because it's turned off, or it's turned on rather by Hungering. If it hits, I can then slam Ghostly. This is a pretty good turn. Pretty good turn, actually. And this is all off the back of 2 Graveyard Fill to kickstart the game. Not bad. If they Scowling, we're 50-50 to, like, still have a... Oh, well, it's not 50-50. We're 66% to, like, still have our turn. They don't Scowling. Okay. I mean, this is not a Blood Rush deck necessarily, so I think they can probably get away with Scowling. Okay, fantastic. Look at this. Look at this. This in Arsenal is not great, but I'm going to do it. It's Dominate. If they take a lot of damage, then, you know, that's live. And that becomes relevant. Great turn. Great turn. So this was a 4-card 16. 4 damage per card. Worked out. Alright, I'm already... I mean, Ghostly Visit looked good here, but in theory, if that was Deep Rooted Evil, the turn plays a bit better. I lose out on Arsenal, but it's 2 more damage, and it's a 6 in graveyard, so Yeah, I could see Deep Rooted still being the play. It is Rhinar, though. It's not like I got the choice to block with it. I think most of the time I would. Alright, they're down to 9 already. We can put this in Arsenal. It's not a throw. Card's fine. Card is fine. We could dominate a swing big. Also seems pretty fun. Don't really want to do that, but it's possible. Here comes their own swing big. Well, speaking of the Quicken token, there's a world where I do block it out and then go Boneyard into Hellhammer. I don't think I really want to make that play. My best turn is still just Endless Maw. They 2-card 8, I'll 2-card 9. Right? It's just better. It's presenting lethal, so. I can't crack Goliath yet, though, because there are 2 misses. Which is a shame, because there's a world where they full keep this hand, they only give me equipment. But it's okay. If they do that, then I win on the next hand with Convulsions, and we're good. And we're good. Yep. So if that's all they do, we should win with Convulsions now. Easy peasy. Sure, Convulsions swing big plus Goliath should do it. So as long as we don't die to whatever this hand is, we have game. Alright, so we want to block with Dread Screamer. Please let me block with Dread Screamer. It's the card I don't need in this scenario. Okay, and it disappears. Well, is that fine? That's probably fine. If we Dread Screamer instead of swing big, it's going to come in for 9 dominate. They can block 5. So they still die. Okay, so actually it doesn't matter. Either one works here. Either one works here. And I don't even need to do that. I just block with Scowling. And then there's no way they lethal me anyway. Alright, we're very safe. Sweet. Man, this deck is really popping off. Alright, everybody. Play this deck this weekend at Skirmish. We'll get more wins under Levi's name, I promise. I can't play in a Skirmish this weekend. If I can, it's a draft one. And it's like a 2-hour drive, so I don't really know if I'm going to do it. It kind of takes my whole Saturday, you know? But, man, if I was playing Constructed, I think I would absolutely slam this deck. This thing is a blast. An absolute blast. Okay, and that's their whole turn. Cool. Just in case they survive... Well, no, there's no way they can survive. It'd have to be like a Sigil draw, which they could run. It's possible. I won't give up the swing big. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the first Convulsions can't miss into the Goliath. Look at Convulsions, I'm telling you. Like, it just seals the deal. The game just ends. Why don't you want to just end games? Just end games. This is turn 4. This is like the bread and butter of the deck. You win on turn 4. You win on turn 4. It's just what happens. Oh, actually, could that be a Reckless? That could be a Reckless. Good game. No, they're saying good game. All right, good game. All right, opponent. GG's. That's going to be it for today. That was super fun. Levia, man, continues to just impress me. Once again, it's not like the new cards are really making a big impact in the deck itself. It's the equipment, right? It's about the supplemental power, like, around her already good cards, right? Like, Slithering's obviously good. But you're looking now at Hellhammer, Spoiled Skull, Fleshbag, Redeemed, like, the cloak pieces. Everything around her already good core is what has lifted Levia. Not a super fan of Hammer? Oh, Sammy, you gotta watch the whole stream then. I think there was only one game where claws were better than Hammer. Otherwise, Hammer just says, oh, I drew a go again hand. This deals 18. No, the reason between Blood Rush Claws and this is Blood Rush is tied to specifically the Blood Rush, right? So you're playing a short game. You're playing Blitz. You're playing Blitz, and you're banking your entire strategy off of drawing a 2 of. You will just lose some games because you just don't see that card. If you take Hellhammer, you actually get the same math as a Blood Rush turn, 18 damage, just by drawing a Source of Go again. It does, tend to fall off after that, which is why I wanted to add in the Dominates to make sure that you use the momentum to close the game. But, I was really impressed. Hellhammer absolutely carried. It gives you more agency over saying, this turn is my pivot. This turn is where, and it can happen so early, it can literally be like turn 2. Regardless of drawing Blood Rush Bellow, if you see like Pulping, Wild Ride, Dread Screamer, Art of War, you can make that turn, right? You're now looking at 8 copies of a card, basically, that can just make your turn deal 18. If we play Hellhammer, do we even bring Blood Rush? Blood Rush won me the game into Kano. Blood Rush was the only reason we won the Kano game, because granted, you take a claw there, right? So that was enough. It also was something you could play for. If you park a Art of War or a Dread Screamer in Arsenal, then you can play the game slower into finding Blood Rush, because now you're more guaranteed to get +4 or even +6 out of it. But generally, this almost felt like graveyard fill more than anything. Like, if you see it, you're going to play it. If you kind of hit the ceiling of the turn, then it's going to deal +4. If you set up, it's going to deal +6. What were the tweaks? So I swapped... Here, we can go back. What's up, Ian, by the way? Where was the original one? I'm not saying my changes were better, but from what I played today to get up to 8 and 3, I think these changes do carry weight. So the original list just doesn't have Dominate, which is kind of my problem with it. The original list has the Deep-Rooted Evil, the Blue Endless Maw, and the Blood Dripping Frenzies. And then it's got this extra Skullhorn piece, which I just don't think you need this into Kano at all. The Spoiled Skull and the Cloak pieces were incredible. So this is kind of like a wasted slot, in my opinion. So moving that over to the changes I made, instead of Deep-Rooted Evil, Ghostly, I only played that one game, but Ghostly is just, it's kind of like that third slithering, similar to what Deep-Rooted's trying to do, but it can block, which is nice. And then the cost curve of it being only 1 also has always felt good into like the Pulping and Wild Ride turns. There's worlds where maybe you take like 2 Blood Debt, but if you just go like Pulping, Blue, Ghostly, that's a 2-card 10. You might take 2 Blood Debt on it, like sure, but Ghostly just, it fits the cost curve of leading Blue on a 2-cost beautifully. So I think that is a solid change, legitimately. Other than that, I swapped the blues to Convulsions and Reckless, because the Blood Dripping Frenzy, like, I just don't know why you're playing that card. It doesn't have enough targets. Like, if you can high roll on a slithering turn, you still need Go again for it to get like high value. And if you're gonna play that way for a setup card, I'd rather the Blood Rush. It's way easier to pull off. But I could see it being in like the similar vein of, because Blood Rush also demands a Go again, Blood Dripping also demanding a Go again. They're like almost the same cards in this deck. Almost. But Blood Rush still has a better ceiling, I think. So I just don't really see you needing it, but I could definitely be wrong on that. So instead I added the Convulsions because Dominate just wins games. If you can have the early lead, you slam them with your momentum of Hellhammer, your Goliath Gauntlet push, like whatever you're doing, then just draw a Dominate hand and you win. Like, I always want that in the list, right? I want to just be able to say, oh, I put you low. I just draw a card and win now. And Writhing normally does that pretty well. Convulsions does that really well. I don't think there's room for the red Writhing, honestly. The playables up here all felt really, really solid. Even these as yellows instead of reds was also really clutch because they at least pay into any of your 2 costs if that's all you're doing. But I think Convulsions is just so good. And then Reckless is probably like the real flexible card. I just don't know why you wouldn't run it. Like, it's Blitz. People are stupid greedy with their life. They just go to 2 and now you have a win con that requires 0 effort. It's even more so than Convulsions. Now you're just saying, oh, like, you attack me, I win. Which, like, that's just unreasonable. That is such a strong power level for a Blitz card. But I could see, like, 2 being kind of weird. Maybe you just run the 1 and just mainboard the Doomsday, sure. Then I swapped the Doomsday in the sideboard over the Skullhorn because I just don't think you need the Skullhorn at all. If you're drawing blues, you're already going to win. You don't need it to be AB3. You can just pay into the AB2. And yeah, that's it. These could be either the 2 Reckless, they could go back to the Blood Dripping, they could go to 1 Reckless, 1 Doomsday. You could try the Last Ditch Effort even, if it's like a Fatigue Yoji type of meta. But I do think you need to have this card in the list. It's too good. It's too good. You can just go so tall. I mean, literally, that last stand against Rhinar came in for 11 Dominate on a Swing Big. You just don't beat that in Blitz. You just die, you know? Unless they have a Husk, unless they're Chane. So, that's it. I'll post the updated list. Here it is. What about Diabolic Offering? Does it work? That last game, it was big. I think with the kind of in-between nature of how the Gogan works in this list, Diabolic is really interesting. Because if you lead with the Dread, like, obviously it's good there. But there were even scenarios where, like, I was playing Art of War, it wasn't satisfied yet, but then we played the Hungering, and then it was satisfied, and then we played the Wild Ride, and then the Diabolic mattered. It lines up with kind of the just more fluid Gogan that this deck has versus just it being, like, paired next to Dread Screamer. It felt okay. You could probably swap this as well, though, for Blood Dripping Frenzy, if you really want just an extra block, but I think you don't care about the non-blocks in this kind of list. You're the aggressor, you know? You're just slamming them. You're just slamming them. Cool. Cool deck. Cool deck. Cool stream. That's it, folks. That's it, folks. Have fun this weekend in all your skirmishes. I'll be back next week. Next week is a big crunch week for me. But I still want to hit at least 3 streams a week, even though I'm getting busier on the back end. But hey, this was fun. I'll see you next time. Peace. Woo! Step, arms, spin. What? Woo! And slide and tango. 1, 2, 1, 2.